funny. It hits funny when you're in that moment. Things that you normally wouldn't go to grab happen to be your go-tos. It's just wherever your body levels are and what you're craving and what you've depleted yourself of. So
like canned potatoes and watermelon.
Like, who knew? Stick that in salt. It's delicious.
1, 2, 3, 4.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 93 of the On the Runs podcast. We are coming to you virtual. Erika is still on her dinosaur computer. It is Super Bowl week. Yeah, we're super excited for the Super Bowl. I don't know about that, but we'll see. What are you going to get more of in the Super Bowl, Erika? The football game or Taylor Swift? I don't know, but what's up, Eham?
How are you, dude? I have no interest in this Super Bowl whatsoever. Who is it? Who is it playing?
The 49ers and the Chiefs.
The Chiefs. Okay.
Pretty much Taylor Swift has been playing football for 5 months, and she already made the Super Bowl.
Taylor Swift.
It's the Taylor Swift Bowl. It is the Taylor Swift Bowl. And
why she isn't headlining the Super Bowl halftime show, I don't know.
That would just be, I don't know. Yeah. Who is the football? Who is the halftime show?
Ask Google. I don't know.
Google.
I am so out of the loop for this. I have no idea.
All I had to type in is who is PER, the first 3 letters of performing, and it popped up performing at the Super Bowl in 2024. Reba McEntire. Really?
Reba?
With Post Malone and Andra Day. Who is Andra Day? I have no clue who that is. I have no clue.
I don't know who that is.
I don't know if it's Reba is doing the halftime show or the Star Spangled Banner. I can't even tell. Yeah, I don't know, but we got the 49ers and the Chiefs. I don't even know. Okay, so the 49ers are minus 128. The Chiefs are plus 108. You know what I want to know the odds for, though? I want to know the odds for, like, how much TV time Taylor Swift is going to get.
See, people were freaking out, and I saw a thing the other day that she literally had like 40 seconds of TV time in like the last game that they played.
It's a lot of TV time.
No, it isn't. In like a 3.5-hour game, and she's on TV for 40 seconds.
But it's probably it's not 40 straight seconds. It's like 40 seconds. It's like 4 seconds, like 10 times throughout the game. It's like the camera keeps going to her. That, I think, is what the problem is. I could care less.
I think it's
exciting. We love Taylor Swift. We're Swifties, right?
I would rather see Taylor Swift than football. So
actually, I'm going to say this might get us canceled here. I'm going to say this is a hot take. So I love Travis and Jason Kelce now. I started listening to their podcast. I only listened to like the intro. I think it's great.
You're going to make Dale Jr. mad at you, taken away from his podcast.
Well, his hasn't started up yet. It starts up next week for NASCAR Daytona 500, where our guest next week is a Daytona 500 champion.
Random thing too. You were telling me, so you guys will hear this during that episode, but we were talking about that Netflix series with the NASCAR stuff now since F1 was doing it. No, I haven't yet, but I was just on Netflix today and I saw that there's going to be a 6th season of the F1 Drive to Survive.
So this is, Erica's like, I don't like NASCAR, but I like F1 because it's on Netflix, and talking to this.
Hey, I had watched it well before the Netflix thing came out. And then I was just kind of.
So you like it when a guy gets out? We're not getting into this right now. I want to talk about Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce, and the Kelces because here's my hot take. I've been listening to their podcast. It's great. It's got a lot of energy. I listen to the first 20 minutes. When they get into football, I'm like, I'm out. Kylie Kelce. I like her better than Taylor. Kylie is Jason's wife. I think she's cool shit. So I don't think this is a dish on Taylor. I just think of the 2 significant others, I like the other one better. She's super cool. She's like a former D1 athlete and everything too. She's funny. The 2 of them have this good, banter back and forth. Jason Kelce is a riot as well. Did you see him at the Buffalo Bills game? Sorry,
is that
Dave.
The guy who was drinking a beer with no shirt?
Yes, that's Travis Kelce's brother. So when his team lost, he's been going to the games now to support his brother. He's in the booth. Yeah. That was, by the way, when he's drunk with no shirt on, having a blast. I loved his energy. That was the first time he met Taylor Swift. His wife, Kylie, was like, no, you got to tone it down. We're meeting Taylor. And he goes, no, this is the whole Kelce package. This is what you get. This is the charm.
You know what? I got to give it to him for being his true self. Taylor Swift.
I love those guys. I had no clue who they were.
Own it.
I will say thank you, Taylor Swift, for bringing the Kelce brothers into my life. Like, that's something you did. So great.
I'm glad you benefited from it.
They are so funny.
I'm not a football person, although I did go to one game this year and I had a lot of fun, but I was also drinking. So it was fun for all the reasons. The tailgating, the games in the parking lot, like
yeah. I'm not a person who bets money though, but I'm curious what the odds will be for like TV time that Taylor gets. Maybe it should be like, how many times will they show her on TV? Not time wise, but like how many times will the camera point to her? Over, under 50. What do you think?
Under,
really? Okay, I'm going to go with the over. What do you want to bet?
I'm not putting money on this. No
Why don't we bet something? Let's bet something.
But who's actually going to watch this to figure out if it happened?
I'm just sure you could Google it. I might have screwed myself. 50 is a lot. No, I'm going to stick with 50.
I know. That's why I said no.
Okay, you're taking the under. I'm taking the over. Can we count post-game celebrations?
Only if it's a different camera view. If you have Taylor Swift on the whole time and the camera's following her, that counts as one.
Yeah, so it's anytime the TV goes away from Taylor and then comes back to Taylor.
Sure. But right, we got to cut it off at one point, like 10 minutes max post Super Bowl celebration, like past end of the game. You get 10 extra minutes.
It can't happen after the trophy is presented. Sure. Because if she's on stage with the trophy being presented, yes, that counts.
I'm not going to watch the game.
No, but we can find out. We'll Google it. Someone listening will find out. You can totally do it.
Who wants this project? In addition to watching all the commercials.
I know someone listening here is like, oh, I know where to find that. It'll be real easy. So over, under 50. Fine. I'm taking the over. You're taking the under.
I don't want to bet, though. I'm not a betting person.
Here's the other thing we'll say. It starts at kickoff. No. It starts when the players get presented, like when they announce them, which is like right before kickoff. So when the players enter the field for the game, that's when it starts. I'm going to DVR.
What are we going to bet?
I'm going to DVR the game because I'm actually going to be busy for the start of the game. I'll DVR it and I will watch and count, and I'll be honest and fully transparent. But what are we going to bet? That's right. What are we going to bet? It has to be something good.
I have a bet that would work for me.
Okay.
So if I win, you have to bring your camper to Hamster Wheel, no matter how many people show up in our camp.
This is a topic we've been talking about lately. So Erika really wants the camper. It's a ton of work to bring the camper to Hamster Wheel. I want to bring the camper to Hamster Wheel, but I want it to be worth it. So
yes,
the rule is, I don't know if I'm going to take that. The rule is you want to have an on the runs team. And the on the runs team, it's not a team like we run together. It's just like people coming and staying.
Getting people to hang out. Yeah, but you said people have to do longer than the 6 hour. And I'm like,
yeah, they can't just show up for 6 hours.
Yeah.
It's got to be people who are going to be there past the sunset. So I want 5 people who are going to use it as base camp. It can't be like, remember we ran into Paul. Paul can't say, sure, count me in, but then he camps 100 yards away. It has to be people who come and camp at the spot. And I said, I want 5 people and then you. So 6 total. I don't know if I want to take that. Is there something else we could do?
I don't know. You got any ideas?
I think we need to put a little more time into what this bet's going to be for. So why don't we think about it and we just have to announce it before the Super Bowl?
Deal. We could do
We'll do like an Instagram live. We'll do an Instagram live Sunday before the Super Bowl, and we'll be like, this is what we're betting for. It's either going to be Erika's going to shave her head and look like Eric, or Eric's going to run with a running skirt. That might have to be it. I run with a skirt, or you shave your head. That might be it. I think that's it. We'll have to talk. We'll have to talk about that more later. But yeah, the Super Bowl week. Travis Kelce, Jason Kelce. It's the Taylor Swift Bowl. and I'm sticking with that over 50. She's going to be on there a lot. So I am pulling for whatever network has the game. Show me Taylor Swift. Show me her more than 50 times. So whatever we bet, I will win. But we need to get to, we haven't even talked about her yet. We got to get to our amazing guest today, Miss Candice Burroughs.
Yay, we have Candice. Oh, we were so lucky to meet Candice this past year at Anchor Down. Candice is just a wonderful hype woman. She was volunteering there for a solid 24 hours. I can't even imagine doing that. It's hard enough to stay up that long, let alone actually helping runners and supporting people. And she is just amazing.
She's great. She's great. So I'm so happy we finally had her on. We've been talking to her for months, and I was like, can you do it in 2024? And she goes, absolutely. So here it is, guys. Enjoy Candice Burroughs on the On the Runs podcast. And we'll see you on the other side because we're going to pick our fantasy teams for when we do Badwater. Our next guest on the pod is a Texas girl living in the smallest state, but still has the biggest heart. She loves to go out there and support everyone while chasing her own dream of a 6-star medal. We are super excited to have Candice Burroughs on the On the Runs podcast. What's up, Candice?
Hey, guys. Hello.
We are so happy to have you, Candice. It's great to see you again. It's been, like 6 months or so? Because I first got to meet you at Anchor Down this past year.
Yeah, that was amazing. Yeah, I'm so excited to do this with y'all. I'm nervous. I'm super excited. I got all the feels.
Don't be nervous. You're going to do great.
All of it.
You said y'all, so you still got the Southern accent, even though you're living up here in New England now. So you haven't really transitioned to the wicked awesome lifestyle up here. You just still got the y'all and the Southern drawl.
Well, I was born here and I lived there and then I came back here. So I'm like a hybrid. Like I went back and forth, but I was born and raised here and I'm in my hometown.
Oh, no way.
Oh, very cool.
See, I'm going to learn so much about you. So I don't know. Are you still my favorite Texas girl? So Erika, whenever she calls me or when I called her, my phone says Texas. And I'm like, I don't know any girls from Texas. So you're my favorite Texas girl.
It's great. It's awesome. I don't know if all the Texas girls will like that, but we'll take it. We'll just run with it.
Nice.
Love it.
Do you remember? Okay, so we met you at Anchor Down, but you and I talked before Anchor Down. You've been following us and listening to us, I think, since around the time we had Maurice on the pod. Do you remember when you walked up to us so excited to meet us at Anchor Down in the state I was in at that moment? That
was really awesome. So I saw your tent because I was where my tent was. And I remember coming in and I look over and I saw your tent and I said, oh my God, they're like 2 away from me. I can't not go by because I had to go to Maurice and I had to walk by you to get to Maurice. So I just walked up and I saw you with your shades on and Erika was in her fabulous little outfit. And I was like, oh my God, you guys are so great. And then I introduced, and you were like, Kiki runs. And I'm like, yes. So that was a really cool moment to like be able to finally meet you guys in person and just kind of chat about life and why you were there and the experience of you running ADU and me being able to volunteer. It's such a blessing to like have that. It's so much fun every year.
Well, it was so awesome.
So the way I remember it was I knew you were there. I knew we were going to meet, but I've never met you or seen you before in person. And it was a long day. I did the drive. I drove Erika so she can rest. I took care of everything. I set up and I sat down in one of those zero gravity chairs and I started to fall asleep. And you're right. I had those sunglasses on and all of a sudden I see this girl running up, so excited, huge smile, waving. And I'm thinking, because I'm half asleep, I'm like, am I supposed to know who this is? Thinking I met you before and you're like, oh my God, it's you. And you were like, oh my God, guys. And I'm like, oh my God, who are you? I was so excited, but I was half asleep and I was like, whoa.
Waking up.
Yeah. I'm super, super extra all the time. So I'm like, and I love people. I'm not going to ever like not act how excited I am when I am. And so, yeah, that was really cool to like see you and then see Erika being there and running it. So that was awesome.
Well, it was awesome having you there because just anybody who supports the whole Anchor Down community is awesome in my book. The one year, I swear one of these years I won't run it and I will volunteer, but I'm just so like into it right now. But I really appreciate you guys for volunteering your time and cheering on the runners. And It just makes the community so much better. It's just such a nice little family, you know?
It really is. Actually, it's when I volunteered the first time, I had so much respect for people to like put a training schedule together and follow it and still live life, right?
Yeah.
And that first experience of watching people push their bodies to that point and knowing that it's not all flat, it's half trail, half pavement, it's over a 3-mile loop, and like watching everyone do that for 24 hours, 12 hours at a time, like straight. It was just so much respect. And I met so many awesome people, and the support of all of our volunteers there. It's like effortless for us to just give it to you guys. So it's, it really is something I look forward to every year. Because we're always the ones running, and then for us to give back, and it's just such a great day to be there. So,
well, it wouldn't go on without the volunteers. So we owe you one. We really do.
Those canned potatoes and watermelon slices will keep you guys going forever. So as long as we have buckets of those, we're good.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
You were there in many different capacities. You were volunteering, but you were also supporting a ton of people. Why don't we go in, before we dive into you and who you are, tell us like everything you were doing at Anchor Down this year, because you were all over the place. Like you were like the ultimate volunteer / crew support.
So I did a 24-hour volunteer this year. So I was there the whole time.
You are amazing.
Which was super fun. My friend Lynn ran and she won the 12-hour.
That's right.
Yeah. Public enemy number 1 to Erika.
Oh,
yes.
She's goals. She is goals. That's what it is.
She was, she trained hard. She ran hard. She did great. All of you just did amazing. But I went there because I wanted to see everybody start. I wanted to see it through the night, so to speak. So like I had the first shift and then I slept for a couple of hours, which really didn't feel like anything because you can't really sleep. And then I kind of got up and walked around and saw you guys at like 3 a.m. I remember talking to you guys again, and then tried to sleep a little bit again, and then came back, and then I stayed till about 5. So I was there the whole entire time, just running around. We have to keep filling up the food. And then I went with Jay's wife, and her and I were doing a bunch of stuff for the runners. So we kind of get a monogamous title. We're not just passing out orange slices. Like we have to make sure there's a first aid area, and then we have to check bathrooms. Like there's just so much that we do. But it's just awesome to do it for you guys. It's
we
just
love
a lot
it
of fun.
And appreciate it more than you know, honestly. You guys are amazing.
Yeah. How many hours did you sleep after when you got home?
Oof. So when you're up that long, you're exhausted, so you really don't fall asleep right away. I felt kind of numb almost when I got home, but I slept a solid like 8 hours after that. Like solid. And that's good for me. I'm normally a 6-hour sleeper. Yeah. If I'm lucky, without a good 7 maybe.
And you dropped the name Jay, the race director. You were helping out with his wife or something, but I just want to say this now with the opportunity. Maybe he's listening. Yeah. I got one of the nicest emails from Jay months ago, about maybe a month after Anchor Down, and he listened to a pod, and it was a really nice email, and basically said, "Good job. Yeah, I really liked everything." And Jay, that was an awesome. I loved getting that email. He's not the only one. I get them from time to time. That was really nice. I loved it. He's a good guy. He's got a good head of hair, just like me. I like the guy.
They're great people. Him and Kara both. They're just the most selfless people. They really are. And they're a blessing to be with. They truly are. I'm just really glad that we get to hang out all day. Their little boy is always there. Like, it's a family thing, really. We're all family. That's what I think about when we're there. Because we just give so much selfless time to other people, and we don't even know your name. We don't know who you are. We have no idea.
How did you learn about Anchor Down? Like, what was your introduction to ADU?
Sure. So the year before, I had a couple of friends that ran it. So I was a spectator. Like we went for the first 6-hour heat. And by the midnight mark, I was like, I'm doing this next year. I want to be part of this. And I signed up and volunteered the following year.
Good for you.
It was that. I got hooked in 6 hours. I'm like, I want to be those people under that tent. I want to help these runners. And that's all it took.
Yep. Race day is electric. Let me tell you. You get sucked in.
I actually walked the course this time for the first time because I hadn't seen the trail, and I'm walking on it and I'm going, I would kill myself. There's no way. These stumps, I would be on the ground.
It happens. I am living proof that you do fall down, but as long as you get back up, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
The volunteer crew there is amazing. We've talked about them before, but Zach and Ainsley, amazing. Love those two. There's so many others, but those are the two names I always remember. Zach
because they're amazing.
Zach forever.
Juicebox guy.
Yeah, Zach forever will be Juicebox Guy. Forever. That's his name. Juicebox Guy.
Totally my hero. That first year I did it, he saved my life with the juice box, I swear. Just that little bit of sugar, and even put it in like an ice pack and made it cold for me. I was like, I just felt the love that day. It was really nice.
Right. It's funny. It hits funny when you're in that moment. Things that you normally wouldn't go to grab happen to be your go-tos. It's just wherever your body levels are and what you're craving and what you've depleted yourself of. So
like canned potatoes and watermelon.
Like, who knew? Stick that in salt. It's delicious. Like,
I actually did that. Somebody told me, I'm like, I don't know what I want. And somebody suggested that. And I did the watermelon in salt. And I was like, here we go. And I was ready to run.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's good.
Well, we're going to dive deep into you here and hear some of your biggest, darkest secrets. But first, before we do that, I need to know.
You're going to scare her away already.
I need to know, Erika has this cat that always makes an appearance in the pod, and I could hear in the background some barking. What do you have for animals there at your house?
I've got 2 dogs. I have a rescue, Bo. He's
no way. Our dog when I was a kid, a baby, was Bo.
Yeah, that's my Bo. He's 3 and he's a rescue. So he's a bunch of different, he's got some mountain cur in there. He's got a few other mixes that he's super cute, got a dark mask. And then Charlie is my little foo-foo dog. He's 10 pounds wet. He's a Morkie. He's got a super, super attitude. He's such a snob. And Bo just wants to cuddle all day. So they're a good mix.
There you go.
So who was making all the noise? I'm going to guess Charlie, because those little dogs like to be loud.
My little nipper. Yep. That was Charlie the whole time. And he got Bo egged on for sure.
Those ankle biters.
Instigator.
Exactly what he is. I love my furry friends. I love dogs. They're just the best.
Do you spell Bo, B-O or B-E-A-U?
B-E-A-U.
That's how to do it. That's the same way we did. Yeah. Oh, Candice, I knew you were my favorite Texas girl.
Yeah, it's a great dog name for sure.
Love it. All right, Candice, we already touched on ADU, but we need to know more about you instead. So why don't you tell us about where you grew up? I know you mentioned you grew up in Rhode Island, but what brought you to Texas? What brought you back to Rhode Island? Give us your life story. Let's go.
Nice job on the rhyming there with the ADU and you, Erika. I'm impressed. It's like you've been doing this for a while.
Like bring that back to a clip because that was super great. I was like ADU, you. Yes.
That was not even rhyming. It's the same word-ish, sound, whatever. I tried.
You did awesome. It was great. It was like you planned it.
Yeah, so I grew up in Burroughs, Rhode Island, and went to school here, and I married a man from Texas, so that's what brought me to Texas in 2010.
It was a guy with a big belt buckle.
Yeah. Yep. Same.
Sorry, I'm like, what were you saying?
I did not know where that was going, but yes, belt buckle was a good comeback.
That's what I was going with. Just I went straight to butt somehow.
That was fantastic. Yeah, so we lived down there for a little short of 8 years. We came back in 17, and but yeah, family brought us back. You know, family being in the South was awesome. I'd move back. You know, I love it down there, but I love the seasons too. I love the seasons up here, so that keeps me here. But my family is here, and that's what brought us back. So, and running in Texas wasn't fun for me. For the little I did down there, that was very hot, very, very hot and humid. So,
where in Texas were you?
We were south of Houston, about 20 minutes in between Galveston and Houston. Okay. Very humid, very hot all the time.
All the time.
Took jacket off for like a couple days and stuck it back in the closet for the other 360 days.
Gotcha.
You know, definitely different from up here.
So if he's from Texas and you're from Rhode Island, how did you meet him?
He moved up here to start a company working for his dad. And we met one night at a random place, and the rest is history.
There you go.
That's cool. So you actually, I was wrong because you grew up in New England. You went to high school here and college and everything, I'm assuming. What did you do growing up as a kid? Did you play sports? Were you a runner yet? Were you a band geek? What did you do?
So I'm a cocktail. I'm like a bunch of stuff. So like I ran cross country in 5th grade, didn't like it. Played baseball from age of 8 up to 6th grade. I played fast pitch. I didn't play softball. We didn't have fast pitch softball. So I played baseball with boys. And then I couldn't play anymore because, you get hit an age where you just can't play with the guys anymore. So I played softball for 1 season, got bored. It was super slow, and then played field hockey through high school. And I was also in the band. So I played a little bit of music, a little bit of sports, a little bit of it all.
What instrument did you play?
All right. So Kenny G was like my jam.
Yes, Kenny G. Christmas CD is the best.
You can't beat the guy. And I would hear him play and I was like, I'm going to sound just like Kenny G. So I played the alto saxophone for 7 years. And I swear I sounded like him. Like I heard it. When you're in the car and you're belting out Carrie Underwood and you're like, I just sounded like Carrie, but you didn't at all. So that's how I felt like I played the alto saxophone. I was like, I sound like Kenny G.
Well, I was in the same family of instruments, the Reed family, but I played the clarinet. I was that cool.
Super cool. All right.
I still got to give you guys credit. I am not musically inclined whatsoever. I mean, I would try, in school, they try to teach you the piano to play some songs. I would literally practice. I could not read notes. So I would memorize it and play it. And that's how I passed my music classes. I'm so bad at music. So I give you guys all the credit for being able to play anything. That's awesome.
It was really cool too. Like our band director, Dahlin Favali, we got asked every year to perform in Epcot. At least in your high school, at least one time in your 4 years at high school, you went to Florida and we performed on the main stage in Epcot Center every year.
That is cool.
It was always February. So did that my junior year. That was super fun.
Cool Kenny G fact or story here. In the music video for Katy Perry's Last Friday Night or TGIF Friday, whatever. Mm-hmm. If you watch the YouTube version, it's like 9 minutes long. Great video, by the way. The band, they're having a party at Katie's house and there's a band playing in the backyard. The band is Hanson. And while they're playing, Kenny G is on the roof with the saxophone.
How do you remember that? Or did you just Google this?
I've known this for years. And, when we're talking about our playlist we're revamping, there might be some Katy Perry and or Hanson on it. You'll have to find out later.
Yeah. Let's go with Katy Perry.
I've known that forever, by the way, since the song came out. I used to this is during the times we drove in NASCAR races to the tracks 8 hours. I'd watch YouTube videos of music videos. So yeah, back when music videos were cool.
Oh my God. I used to race home from school just to put on the countdown on MTV.
TRL, Cody Request Live with Carson Daly.
Yes.
I remember the day Limp Bizkit beat NSYNC and was #1 with the song. I think it was Nookie. And I remember everyone going crazy. And then the next day NSYNC came back, but it was I kept voting all the time.
It's hard to really beat NSYNC, man. I mean, they are just up there. Yes. They were like the immaculate TRL band.
It was them versus Backstreet Boys, and then Limp Bizkit and Eminem and all those tried to come in and take over. But yeah, the boy bands, you know what? It wasn't the boy band. So it was just all the girls coming together and voting. Girl power. That's what it was.
It was. I remember the year that Teen Spirit Nirvana got #1, and I was waiting for weeks for that to drop. And when it finally hit, I was like, yes! It was just one of the best moments ever.
I'm going to say this here. My mom listens, so I remember this story. This is how my brain works. I remember these things, but not my schoolwork that well, right? My mom was so mad when Tom Green, My Butt Song, was #1 on TRL. And she goes, I can't believe he's #1. My butt is on the wall. My butt is on the wall. Whatever, everywhere. My butt is here. My butt is there.
I was on the Swedish. What does that even mean? He was not my favorite, but it's still funny.
He's still a funny guy. Yeah.
Where do we go from here?
This is what happens on the podcast, Candice. We go everywhere. So you were in band just like me, but you were more like Kenny G. You're so much cooler than the two of us.
Oh, I sure as heck thought I was. That's for sure.
So you fall in love, you move back to Rhode Island, or you move to Texas, then you come back to Rhode Island. When does this crazy running journey you've been on start?
So I moved back home and I joined this boot camp, and the girl that ran the boot camp had a run challenge. So it was an 8-week, 10 miles of walk running per day. And
Ooh, that's
I
a lot of
remember
miles a
like
day.
4 weeks. It was, I'm sorry, a week.
Oh.
It was 10.
I was going to say, I'm like, damn, that's impressive.
Damn, girl.
But still, that is a good way to get started. It really is.
Yeah, it was 10 miles a week. Sorry, guys, it was 8 weeks worth. And I was like, oh, I can walk run that. Like, I can do that. I remember 4 weeks in, my ankle blew up like a balloon. And I was like, man, like, something's going on here. And it was just that constant movement.
Pictures or it never happened.
Yeah, I was big in the gym. I liked the gym. I didn't like cardio that much. It was not my thing. By the end of the 8 weeks, I was hooked and signed up for my first 5K. And it was Andrea Strong in Medway, Massachusetts. Andrea was an athlete, passed away. They did this as a benefit for her. So that was my very first race, and I did it with my oldest. So that was cool to like kick it off with her. And then after that, I just started to meet more women that ran locally and kind of fell in love with the brunch and the fun and all of the things we do when we go run together, and just took off from there. So, yeah, that was pretty much, I remember going to our bike path and I couldn't even run to the first marker. I couldn't get there. I was, winded and out of shape. It was embarrassing to say the least.
So what was your motivation to keep you going?
I had this, I don't know, I got that runner's high thing. I was drinking the Kool-Aid, I got to the end of that 8 week and I didn't want to stop. So I joined it again and I did it again. And then I signed up for the 10 miler series that we have here. And I ran that in my first half the next year after that. So and then after that, it was just like, ooh, how else can I push my body and see how much I can do? So
before all this, what were you doing? Were you just like, you go to the gym a little bit? Were you like doing like any type of classes in Texas or in Rhode Island? Were you doing anything for physical fitness at the time? Or was this like running the first time you actually took on physical fitness?
Yeah. Well, I was in the gym a lot in Texas. We had a gym right down the road from us. So my husband and I would go like 4 or 5 days a week, and I would try to jog around my neighborhood, just to get some cardio in if I didn't want to do anything in the gym. So I did more of the gym stuff. And then we moved back up here. I was working out in the gym. So it was always lifting weights and doing cross training, push-ups, sit-ups, body weight stuff. And then I started doing the running, and I just got hooked, and I haven't looked back, and I don't regret a step. So it really is an addicting thing when you hit it at the right point in your life. It was perfect for me at that time.
That's awesome.
Your first race was a 5K then. This is how I remember like everything I did. I was like, 5K, I can do a 5K, but I don't think I could ever do a 10K. And then you do like 5 miles. Maybe I can do a 10K. You build up to half marathon. I remember a half marathon. No way I'll ever do a marathon. Same with the half Ironman. Mm-hmm. No way I'll ever do a full Ironman. How did you progress? You did the 5K. A lot of people say those suck, because they do. They really suck. What was your progression like?
Yeah, they do suck. And I'm going to tell you why. It takes me at least 3 miles to be warmed up anyway. Mm-hmm. Every run I do, my first 3 miles, I'm not warm or ready. And I'm like, why am I out here? And then once I hit that point, I get warmed up, and everything just is smooth sailing from there. Not that it's a great run every time, because it's not. Mm-hmm. But you just get a little bit more warmed up and primed, so to speak. But it was in 19, I did the 10 mile series in Portland, Maine. Then I did my first half marathon in Horseneck. And then I did the 10 miler in Newport. Those were all within 5 weeks of each other. That's when I knew that my body could do something I never thought it could do. Because I was like, my friends were like, you're crazy. That's a lot to do. And I said, no, I'm going to just go with it. And so I did. And then come June of that year, I got an awful concussion. It was pretty bad. I couldn't even walk without almost passing out. No. My heart rate would hit 10, and I was grabbing things, and my racing was done for that year. I didn't get to run Stowe that year.
Was it the little dog? Was it the little dog's fault? Did she get like under your legs, trip you, and you hit your head?
No, it was actually underground in a cavern in Pennsylvania, and I hit my head on a stalactite or a stalagmite, whatever one comes down. I just clipped my head right, and I felt a little woozy, not too bad, a little headache. The next day I went on a roller coaster, an old wooden one, and I lost my eyesight on it. Just couldn't see. I saw black for like seconds.
Oh no.
And came home that night. We cut the trip short because I was lethargic, and something in there just rattled it a little too much. And but you don't have to hit your head hard. You just got to hit it right.
Yeah.
And I hit it.
Oh, no.
I hit just my sunglasses and went on a damn roller coaster, and that was the end of my year. So yeah, I had a great neurologist, PTs. They worked with me, and I got back on the road for a challenge that I started in 2020 that primed me for 21. So that was, that was my lull year, was going into COVID.
Your neurologist, like, what kind of workouts was he having you do for your brain? Because I follow hockey and NASCAR, right? And I know a lot of people, not personally, but their stories of concussion and concussion history, and they do these brain exercises. Was he having you do any of those?
I had a lot of stuff that they had me do. So I pictured myself like Rocky in Rocky IV, the Russian.
Yeah.
So I was on the treadmill doing something called buffalo treadmill training. So basically what they had to do was get my brain to understand it was normal to get your heart rate back up. Mm-hmm. So I would get on there and I would walk. And as soon as I hit 110, I would start to grab the treadmill. So they'd shut it off. And I would go back in 3 or 4 days and they would do it again. And then I had a physical therapist I saw where I had to look at beads on a string and get my vision back because my eyes weren't pairing. So I had to do a lot of eye and hand coordination work to get my eyes to start focusing, to get everything to kind of piece back together. So it took 9 months for that. 9 months.
Oh my gosh.
Twice a week.
Yeah, head injuries are no joke.
No.
It was no joke. And they don't think it was my first one. They think I had another one prior to that and said if I hit my head again, they're putting a helmet on me. So
Oh, Candice.
I was like, what a nice little feature.
I'm sure you would pull it off wonderfully.
If you need one, we have plenty of stickers to help you decorate.
Yeah.
I will take it. Let's do it. I like the reflector ones. Those are like my favorite. I have them everywhere.
But please avoid it at all costs if possible.
Yeah.
Let's keep you healthy.
Yeah.
So you said you were training and going into 2020, and we all know what happened. Yep. The world shut down. There were no races. What were you doing to keep yourself on track for your 2021 racing schedule?
Sure. So the fall of 2020, I signed up for the Boston to Bar Harbor Challenge. It was like your own accountability, 750 miles in 6 months.
Oh, nice.
And it ran me through the winter. And I swear that by the grace of God, doing that is what got me ready for 21, because I did the Bar Harbor Challenge. I got to the very end. I asked 2 of my girlfriends if they wanted to go to Bar Harbor with me to finish my last mile up on the island there.
That's awesome.
And yeah, it was really cool. We drove up, 5.5, 6 hours, got a nice house. It was right on the water. We did not time the tide right. I don't know if you've ever been to Bar Harbor, but it is an island. And we walked over the sandbar, and I wanted to take this fabulous photo of me, which to this day I don't show anybody because it's, I had no shirt on. And
find it on Instagram. Damn it.
Nobody could see the front of me, just the medals on the back. And, it was a cool moment for me. So we go to walk back and we're like, that's a mirage of water. The tide had come in.
Oh, no.
We got, we're like, oh shit. So now we're like running, and all the people on the land are like, look at them stuck on the sand. Like, so we had to trek through water in March. It was like maybe 20, 30 degrees.
Ooh.
It was pretty cold, and we had to trek through that water. It was like maybe mid-calf, maybe a little lower, but we had to walk through that. It was like a football field width and length to get back. So we didn't time that well for that one photo. That's all it was. And we almost got stuck out there.
Well, it makes for a great story and also a great way to celebrate finishing that challenge, because that's no joke. That's a lot of miles it was over 6 months, you said?
Yep, it was 750 in 6 months. And I figured, well, this will keep me busy. And then come spring, I just on a whim applied for the Chicago Marathon and through lottery. And I was like, well, I'm going to see if this works out. And I got in on lottery. And I was like, oh, shit, I just took a bib. So now I have to do this thing. I wasn't convinced.
At this point, not only what was your longest race, but what was your longest run?
I had only done a half marathon at that point in Horseneck. That's it.
And your mind, the way your mind was thinking, like I said earlier, were you like, I can do this? Or were you at that half marathon point like, no way I can do a full marathon?
And horse neck, no. I was like at mile 11. And I remember seeing my friend Susan, who pulled me through towards the end. I'm following her, and I was like, there's no way I'm even finishing this. Like my legs were killing me at 11. I was like, wow, this is bad. And I got to the finish, and I remember not feeling my toes that much, and saying there's no way I could double that. There's just, your mind doesn't think like that, because in that moment you've gone the farthest and you already thought almost like you couldn't do it, but you did it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, the mental game is real. Mm-hmm. That's where it is. You know, it's not just the physical by any means. It's all mental in my mind. So
what's nice about all this training that you do, not only are you working on your endurance, but it's also building confidence. So you know that you're going to do it. And I can't wait to hear about the whole story behind Chicago. So Chicago is going to be your very first marathon. Tell me all about it.
Yeah. So I did the half marathon series as well that year, incorporated all 5 of the Rhode Island halves into training for that year. So that was a good priming foundation as well. I got a lot of halves in. I incorporated my 20 miler in Jamestown, which is probably the hardest half I've ever done, was Jamestown. It's very hilly, but Chicago was amazing. It was amazing. The city, the hype, the race. It was very hot. My coach and I talk about this all the time. She's the same coach that's trained me since day one. And I've only had one race that had good weather, and that was London. Every other marathon I've ran, it's been 80 or above with like 85% humidity. And having prior concussions, the heat and I are not friends.
Oh, no.
It's real. So the fact that we plug through.
There she is.
We get through this thing together is amazing. But Chicago's awesome. It's very flat. The crowds are amazing. Hit Chinatown around mile 21, 22. It's just electric. So there's the photo from that expo. But yeah, so that was pretty awesome stuff to go there and experience that for the first time. And when I finished it, I had no doubt I would. I knew I was going to literally kill myself to get myself over that line, because I had put so much work into it that year. So that was definitely an important moment. So, yep. That was awesome.
Maurice, if you're listening, I just liked your post. High five and positive vibes from 117 weeks ago.
I know, he called me today and he sent me a message and he goes, I'm your biggest fan on Instagram and real life friend ever. And he's so right. Like, we met through Instagram, and like, he really is a real life friend. Like, we meet up for runs, and he's just such a great dude. He's just so much fun, so supportive. And the fact that he writes that for everyone, it just speaks so much about, the kind of person he is and his character.
He was on the Cultural Trail Running podcast like a few weeks ago. It was really good. Like, he gave you some stuff that you didn't hear on our podcast. So I love it. And I sent him a message. I said, hey, awesome job on the podcast. I thought it came out great. And he goes, I wore your t-shirt during the episode. I was like, yes!
Really?
Yeah.
God, he's the best.
He is.
Here's your photo in front of the bean with your medal there. I am a marathoner. So how did the day go? I know it was hot, but tell us, give us some details. Your first ever marathon. Let's hear the story. Spare no details. How many bathroom breaks were there?
So bathroom breaks. I'm a typical, I'm usually within the first 3 miles, even though I probably went twice the night before, twice before we started. And then the first 3. But yeah, it wasn't too much in the bathroom. I have to say that was the best course as far as what they provided us. They had bananas on sticks. They had sponges soaked in baby pools, like the baby pools. Yeah. They had sponges that were soaked, and we could down. It was very, very hot that day. I literally had just salt all over me. But the volunteers were amazing. Vaseline was everywhere. That was one thing I didn't expect. I do remember my knees feeling funky, and I hadn't really used BioFreeze before. I walked over to the tent and I asked the guy to squeeze it in my hands. And he goes, no. Where do you want it? And I said, in my hands. And he didn't want to give it to me. And there was a reason for that. Mm-hmm. So now I go like this and wipe it all over my knees, but it got on my wrists and it kept my body cool.
Oh, wow.
So it was like I had ice all over my wrist, and it would really, I swear it's what saved me that day, to keep me feeling like I was
that's
cool.
a life hack. That's a great
Well,
idea.
you gotta be careful, because if you put it on your hands and you're someone who like wipe your face with your hands and you get it in your eyes, your nose, your mouth, and then like your inside your nostril gets all like, not that you're picking your nose, but if it just gets on it, it gets all icy hot or cold or whatever.
You just gotta get the roll-on one so you can put it where you want. But yeah, I mean, man, that's a great idea, putting it on your wrist. Like, I don't know where else would help. Maybe the back of your neck. I don't know.
And that wasn't even the point. I just wanted it in my hand so I could lather it on the front of the bed. Because now I'm at mile 12 and my knees were hurting me. And I'm going, why am I hurting at 12 miles? I got to double this still. So I panicked early on, put a bunch of BioFreeze on and had a water. This race, it's funny. If you look at that belt you saw in that photo there, Eric, I packed for a camping trip for my first marathon. I had shoelaces in my shoelaces.
I love it.
Like, who breaks their shoelace? Like, no one does that. Yeah, see that? I literally had every extra you can think of, and I only used about 3 of them.
Candice, you and me are in the same boat. I am the queen of, but what if I need it, you know?
Yep, I'm an overpacker all the time. Same. I overpacked for my first race. And it's funny, I don't carry anything now except for gels, my phone, and chapstick. Those are my 3 go-tos. I have to have my fuel, my phone, chapstick, and I rely on the course the rest of the time now. So it's funny how 2 years you go from that to...
That just shows the confidence you have, because you can rely on what they have and you know how to use it and all that good stuff.
Yeah. So question, was this custom here where it says your name, Candice, first of 6 majors? Because I'm looking at the lady behind you. I don't see anything like that. Did you do this yourself? Is it like part of a running group or something? Because this is your first, and your goal at some point we'll get into is the majors.
Yeah. So I had that made. There's a website online. It's called, now I'm kind of having a brain fart here. I'm going to have to think about it. I had my first...
We'll say it's called coolbibs.com. That's what
we'll make up our own name right now. I feel bad. I want to put that out because I've used their company for the first...
Go get the domain name right now.
But yeah, I had the... you can custom put your name and you can put your own message. So you can be like, let's go, or my first marathon, or whatever it is. So I found that and made one. And then I did it for the other 2 I did after that. So... it was pretty cool.
Awesome.
Plus, you want people to cheer your name. It's nice to motivate, and people see your name, and I really wanted to have that mental motivation to kind of get me through. You pay. I
like that. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people do that. I like it, and they say it's the greatest thing they do. It's like, why didn't I do this before?
It makes you feel like a superstar out there, and it can give you some extra, like the extra oomph you need to get through those really tough miles towards the end. So yes, if you're listening, definitely give that a try, especially if you're running a large marathon, because the crowds will just yell your name from the rooftops. It is so empowering. I love it.
It's funny, when I was running Chicago, like I had, you run with your phone, you take videos. So I wanted to get the crowd, I'm videoing the crowd. My brother texts me and he goes, how did all those people know you? I said, they're like, Candice. I'm like, Nick, no, it's because I had that thing on my phone. He's like, oh,
I'm a celebrity now. Everybody knows me.
Definitely not.
But how do you acknowledge them? Are you like, do you give them a head nod, a wink? Do you give them a little, hang loose, or rock and roll, little shocker action? Sorry, Eric, I had to.
Did you though?
He's so funny.
Oh my god!
Confirmed. Eric is funny. Candice confirmed it.
She is. She makes me laugh all the time. You guys are my go-to in the morning. I listen to you all the time. So yeah, all the time.
So Chicago was the first of 6 majors.
Yep.
Did you already had it in your head you're going to do the majors, because it says first of 6 majors on your coolbibs.com bib?
Right.
What was next?
So it's funny, when I went to the expo, a lady asked me, she's like, are you running all the majors? And I was like, what's all the majors? Because like I knew that there was 6, but I didn't know what they were. I was such an amateur. And she was like, oh, the big marathons in the world, Boston. And she's throwing out, I'm like, so I went home and researched it. I'm like, all right, so there's 3 here, 3 overseas. Okay, maybe I'm going to do that. So, and then I started researching it, and it took years for people to get into them. It's not just, I'm going to apply. You can't just apply. So I just started trying to figure out how I could get this plan together of getting all the US ones in a year. So I ran Chicago in 21, and I applied to Heather Abbott. I wanted to run for her. A friend of mine lost her leg that year. Her name is Kendra D'Arasano. She's a fitness, she's just an absolute fit. She's an amazing fitness athlete. Lost her leg in an accident with her husband. And I did not know that she was one of the newest beneficiaries of Heather Abbott's foundation. So I applied. Heather never told me. I told her she was my inspiration, why I wanted to run for Heather. And I wrote to Heather, and I got a call from her personally on a Tuesday night. I'll never forget it. And Heather Abbott called and invited me as her 11th runner on her 12-person team. And then I found out that my friend Kendra was her newest beneficiary. I'm like, she never told me that. So that was, and she goes, and you didn't get the spot because of Kendra. It was because of how you wrote your application. And I was like, really? I'm like, okay. You know, it was a very cool moment. So that was my bib to Boston in 22, which was, that was a cool experience. So, and I got to run for, raise money to get para athletes their gear so that they could run just like us.
That's awesome. I love that. I do. The only fundraising I do is for adaptive athletes. So that's awesome.
Yeah, that is amazing.
Did you get New York next?
I did.
Oh, no. Don't jump into New York. Boston.
Well, she said she wanted to do all try to get all the U.S. ones out of the way. So I
want to hear about the greatest sports town in the world, Boston. How is that Boston Marathon?
It's exactly like what everybody says. It's iconic.
Well, Erika says it's not as good as Chicago, so tell me she's wrong.
You guys, I say I'm biased because I had the really rainy Boston year, and the crowds weren't out in the full force like they were every other year. So Chicago's just been it. Yeah. They've been amazing. They've shown up.
You know what? We need to we'll talk about this later, but we need to get Erika a bib for Boston to get a good day so she can really compare.
Yes, we do. You just let me know.
Someday.
We'll do that.
Someday.
I'm letting you know right now.
But yeah, I mean, Chicago is a great way to start. I mean, most people do small marathons, right? To start as a major, it was, I don't have anything else to compare it to. So like to downsize would have been like, wow, you have gaps, of no people, no crowds. Yeah, Boston was exactly what I thought it was going to be. It was probably the best marathon I've ever ran as far as like the course, the challenges, the crowds. Ran with Maurice that year. So he and I started the race together, which was super fun.
Was he in his purple suit?
Actually, did he wear it that? Yeah, he did. He did wear it that year. No, he did not wear it that year. He wore it the year after. He wore it last year. He did wear it last year. Yeah. Yeah. He wore it in 23. We ran it in 22. That was an amazing race. And I remember turning onto Boylston and seeing the finish line in the grandstand. And I was like, wow. And I sprinted. It was my fastest mile of the whole entire race, but it kept running away from me because it's a half a mile and it doesn't look it. So you literally start to run and it just gets further and further away. And I was like dying. I was like, why is this thing keep running away from me? So, but yeah, my mom, my dad, then my whole family was there. My best friends, Jess and Nick, were there. Like I had my friend Susan. There was so many people. My best friend Lauren, who owns Race State Rangers, was there. Like she was on mile 18-ish. So it's like that was awesome to run a race at home because there was so many people there that I got to, see. And that was probably the best part is, being able to see everyone and celebrate.
I'm loving these pictures that he's showing.
That was from the 5K the day before. A group.
Oh, excellent! We
all went up and did the 5K together, and that was a really good way to kick off the weekend. Because the nerves are high. For me, I'm always nervous. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Well, that's it's a good shakeout run that 5K that they do. I like that one.
Yes. Definitely.
I think all the majors do like a 5K the day before. Chicago, Boston, New York at least do, right?
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Yep. Tokyo has one that I'm starting to look into it right now because they didn't do it for a few years, and I think they.
Oh, the friendship run! I missed out on that.
Yes, so I'm really hoping that they're going to do it this year. They're kind of dipping into the conversation. It's popping up.
Spoiler alert.
So let's fingers crossed.
So your coolbibs.com bib here just says Candice. Does it say 2 of 6 underneath it? And is it covered there? Or
it does say something. I don't know.
It looks like it's covered by your other bib.
It could be. It's hanging on my like infamous racing wall in my garage right now. So I don't know. Oh wait, let's see.
Let's see. First Boston, second world major. That's what you wrote.
Yep.
Coolbibs.com, guys.
I'm such a bad.
People are going to be like, where is this website?
I'm going to check it out right now. Hold on. Let's see if it's a real website. Let's go in the Google machine here. Coolbibs.com. Let's see. Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. Drum roll. Internet's working slow. This domain is for sale for $1,895. Buy it now or start a payment plan. $157.92 a month for 12 months. You can buy coolbibs.com. You guys can go to ontherunspodcast.com and start Venmoing me some money. We'll buy that domain.
Shouldn't we get our own website before we buy coolbibs.com?
By the time this is out, we will have our own website.
Ooh. Spoiler alert too.
Yes, number 2 within 5 minutes. Not good.
So Boston was great. You had a good day. That 22 was a good day, right? Good weather day.
It was warm. I had a sunburn that whole summer from like the socks, my compression sleeves I wore. I had a sunburn all down the whole backside of me for that whole season. I could not shake it. So, but
oh no,
it was a warm day. It was a warm day. It was good weather. It was really awesome. It was an awesome day.
So you got Chicago, you got Boston. I know you're like trying to do this as quickly as possible. Was that the goal at the time? Do it as quickly as possible, become like famous as the quickest ever Texas girl living in Rhode Island or something? What was you told me this earlier?
No, I was just trying to get into them as soon as I could. And because I was told that it was very hard to get into all of them. So I got into New York that fall, ran that in November. So I got all the US states done the time frame I wanted. So I ran New York that fall, but got a bad cold, didn't know I was sick. I thought it was allergies, and that was a bad race. I felt brutally yuck. Not a good day.
Is that why there's not many New York pictures on your Instagram? Candice was yucky Candice.
Hot mess express is what happened that day. It was, I just got dehydrated, even though I wasn't really dehydrated, but I was on medicine for allergy and had an upper. Yeah, it was just a mess. So I got very bloated. I called my coach, 10 miles in, and told her I was probably going to pull it. So I felt like a gallon of water was just sitting in my stomach. I wasn't taking in water, and it was painful. So I ran and finished that race in pain from 10 miles in to 26 and wanted to quit at 18. But she told me, she said, just run for 2 miles. Don't drink anything. See if your body absorbs that water. And, I just plugged through and ran the rest of it. So my PR was out the window. That wasn't happening that day. I had gotten a little faster every race, and I did finish that one. I got a PR in New York, but it was by maybe a minute, maybe 50 seconds.
So you still ran really good.
Yeah, I finished. That's all that mattered, right? I wanted to finish, and I finished a little faster than Boston. So, and New York's is the hardest course. I feel like New York is the most challenging out of all of them because it's very much uphill, and you've got 5 boroughs, bridges to run over. So it is a very difficult race, but it's a very rewarding race because you're running with 250,000 spectators around you, 50,000 runners.
Of the 3 world majors in the States, Chicago, Boston, New York, what one's the hardest logistically? Because sometimes running the race might be the easiest part, but sometimes getting to the starting line, I'm not talking about your training, I'm talking about waking up, getting on a bus or a car, getting there. What's the easiest? What's the hardest? Because I imagine New York being extremely stressful and hard.
New York is the hardest. You're on your feet for a long time. A friend of mine and I ran New York together. And you're on your feet for over 3 miles before you even, you have to get from train to Staten Island ferry over to where the buses are. And that was the first year after COVID. So the buses were not running right. Everything was a shit show.
Oh no.
It was people were missing their waves in there. It was not good. We saw a police officer fall into the earth, a grate let go, and he fell right. He was standing on a drain in front of
oh my God.
the buses, and we see him, and then all of a sudden we didn't see him anymore, and he went into the ground, and we just saw the top of his head. We were like, holy shit, that guy just fell into the ground. And it was just the weirdest experience ever. We were like, oh my God. But yes, New York's the hardest to get to, I would think. Boston, you go to the park, you get on a bus, they drive you up. I feel like that was pretty, easy. And then you just walk down to Grand Park in Chicago and you're there. So to me, those two are a lot easier to navigate. New York, you've got to travel a bit to get there. But you take a ferry and you can see all of the beautiful buildings, and it's just, I don't know. I can't get into words what I'm trying to say here. It's just going by the city was breathtaking, when you're so close to everything.
You got to see a view that you don't normally get to see every day.
And the Statue
from out there on a boat,
right on the side of you as you're trekking over there. So it's like, that's how you start your morning, is seeing all of that, which is inspirational. So
what was number 4 for you?
London,
baby.
I'm trying to think. I'm like, you and I did them in almost the same order. I flip-flopped London and Berlin, but I did like the same order that you did. So
were you?
that's
wait,
so exciting.
did you guys do the same year? You two were in London the same year, weren't you?
No.
Erica's saying no.
I just went in 23.
Oh yeah, duh.
Yeah, and that was the best marathon I ever ran. I PR'd by 45 minutes in London. It was
45 minutes. Yes.
I know. I ran a 5:14, my last one. And then I ran a 4:29 in London, and it was
beautiful.
Sick. It was
beautiful,
sick.
beautiful.
It was such a good race. I felt it when I passed the palace. I saw what my time was, because I really wasn't looking at it at all. And it was drizzling out, that drizzle. It was 55, 60, best running weather ever. And it was off the hook. It was off the hook, the best race ever. And to know my time, when I saw Big Ben, I started to know where I was, and I was like, wow, I'm going to do this thing in 4 hours. This is sick. And it was just, that was an amazing moment.
Good for you.
Yeah, that was really cool. That's
London is so special.
Yeah. So you traveled. This is their first time traveling. And all these pictures, you're with this girl. Who's the girl? And was she like your travel buddy? Did your husband or kids go?
So Liz and I, my husband comes to a lot of them with my kids. The London trip was a girls' trip strictly. My sister, my best friend Jess, was there. And then she's been one of my friends. Her name is Liz Gudermoot. She and I have been friends since we were in school. And we lost touch for years, and she's been an avid marathoner. And she's also been chasing stars. And actually, Liz is going to be getting her 6th star in Japan when we go to Tokyo in March. So
yeah, Liz.
She is total.
Look right here, all the positive vibes being sent. There he is, 37 weeks ago.
Yeah. So Liz and I have, I reached out to her last year because we were training for London together, and a lot of the girls in my town weren't really running in the winter. So I asked Liz if I could join her and her girlfriends, #RunButts. That's like that's our group. I'd go down and run with them. And, they all just inspire me so much. They're great athletes, great girls. They run all the time together. There's such a huge support. And, but Liz and I are going to get to do Japan together, which is, go to Tokyo together, and we ran London together. So, and we just did Marine Corps together in the fall. So that was,
look at your awesome. Colorful kit here. I mean,
we got to comment on those pro compression socks, because that color matching is on point.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Look at this. This is like top notch matching game.
Seriously.
Unbelievable.
Thanks. You got
even down to the watch. Look at that watch.
Impeccable.
It's all about the outfit, guys. It's all about
Rachel might have some competition here with the matchy game.
Let's do. Oh my God, I love Rachel too. She's so fun to watch. Like every time she dresses up and just to go for a run, I'm like, yep, this girl and I could be friends. Like we both are so color coordinated all the time. It's
Let me tell you, Candice, she's going to be out in Tokyo when you guys are, so you should try to meet up with her.
Oh, we need to.
That's right.
All of you are getting your 6 star medal that day.
Well, I was just I wrote to Eric about that. So my 6 star is actually going to be in Berlin for the 50th anniversary.
Okay.
I had to defer. I was supposed to do Berlin and I had to defer it, and I ended up doing Marine Corps. So, so now
well, either way, still meet up with Rachel.
I'm going to. Yes, I'm going to have to message her, and
we'll have to do a who wore it better.
Who wore it better? I don't know. I don't think I can beat Rachel. I'm not even going to try.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Some fighting words right there.
If Rachel
I don't want to pit people against each other. We're not about that here.
No, I'll tell you this. If Rachel's going to win it, if she does it with her 6-star medal, I'll tell you that.
Oh.
But you'll do it. You'll do it in Berlin as we get there. So this is London. And this is your rainy day, but perfect running weather. There you are.
Perfect.
It looks like you're wearing the Boston BAA hat, actually. What was this clock tower? I know that's famous.
That's Big Ben.
Big Ben. Okay. Yep.
So that outfit, as you can see, isn't what you just saw in that flatlet.
Right. I wasn't going to call you out on it, but where are the shorts?
Well, the shorts and the hat weren't part of it. It was supposed to be braids and shorts. But when the rain started to set in, Liz and I both last minute said, do we want to be chafed up or not? So we took shorts off, put leggings on, and we both wore hats because we knew it was going to rain all day.
You just did an incredible thing. You cut 45 minutes off of your personal best.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. I would have cried. I would have.
Oh, God.
So you've done 4 of the 6. Give me some of the fun stories, memorable stories, maybe the not so good stories of those 4 races. Do you have anything in mind you can share?
I really don't have anything. Honestly, I don't really have anything too negative. New York was bad. I have a bone to pick with it. So I'm definitely going to run that race again because I feel like I could give it so much more than I could that day. You know, I have a friend of mine who told me that not every run goes good, that you have good weight. You could run 10 one day and run 10 another day, and it could be totally different days and how the run's going to go. So you can't plan for race day to be perfect. It was just not my day, and I felt sick. And, I remember trying to find a porta potty that was clean at one point towards the end, and that's
that can be hard at a marathon with 50,000 runners.
Yeah. It's impossible. I've heard some pretty horror stories about Berlin. I'm not really looking forward to it, to be quite honest.
Girl, oh boy.
People use their hands and they're wiping stuff. So I'm already going to come with that camp pack I talked about. That's probably going to be a thing in Berlin. So I have stuff for my hands.
Absolutely do that. It happened to me. I think I was using a porta potty maybe 18 miles in, and there was nothing. I luckily only had to go number 1, so I had to do the drip dry thing, and I was like, all right, this is not ideal. So bring extra stuff.
You might want to remember that later on this pod here for your Code Brown commandment. Might be a good one.
See? Yeah. Always wear a cute sports bra, because if you got to take off the shirt and use it as a reserve, you gotta
so smart.
I always make sure I wear something that's somewhat presentable, so that if you're shedding off clothes, you're prepared.
Great idea.
But yeah, I really don't have a lot of I don't have a lot of negativity, or I probably wouldn't do it and dedicate it. My goal was to try to get all 6 majors done under 3 years, and I'm going to do it by a month. So I feel very fulfilled to do that goal and to be able to just have the experiences in between, all the hard stuff and the good stuff. I just had COVID last week. I had a whole week I couldn't run. I'm only
same.
Yeah.
I had it 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. I had it the whole week of Christmas. I got it, started it on Christmas Day, but didn't know I had it till that Wednesday or Thursday. So yeah, it was awesome to be home at New Year's and be sick like I was. So fun.
So
nobody wants that. Oh.
So those 4 marathons aren't the only marathons you ran. You did the Marine Marathon this year, right?
Yeah.
That was a hot one too, wasn't it? Oh, I feel so bad that you just get stuck with all the heat.
I told you. It's and my coach and I, her name is Kelly. She runs stretch run coaching. And so her and I were talking, and she was like, again, another, my goal for that race was maybe a 4:15, a 4:20, maybe a little bit less. and I ran it in a 4:51 because I almost passed out at mile 18. I overstepped my foot. I felt crooked, and my mind's. I was very well hydrated, but it doesn't matter, not when it's hot like that. So what I did was I just pulled back and I walked by all the Washington monuments and took tons of photos and talked with runners and. I just lived it up. I was like, whatever, I'm here. I'm going to, I just sucked it all up. My goal, again, out the window, and you have to be okay with that. You're there, it's, that's a personal battle that you have with yourself. I don't compete with a person that I'm near or a runner near me ever. I could care less what you're doing. I'm just worrying about what Candice is doing. And that's always been my mentality since I started. So
I love that. And you're very good at adjusting your goals too, which is very that's a hard thing to do because you can get so disappointed. And I understand that it is a disappointment, but just to finish, just to say you did it, it's still a huge accomplishment. So adjusting on the fly is a huge awesome thing that you do. And I'm glad you can do that. A lot of people you just can't. So
yeah, thank you. It's hard to do that. It's hard to be like,
it really is
to train for 18 weeks and be like, oh yeah, that's out the window now. And it's like, you get one shot to make it right. And if it doesn't work out.
And a lot of times it's out of your control too. It's weather, it's heat, it's beyond your control, and it still sucks, but it is what it is.
Yeah. My friends, I was supposed to run Berlin and had to defer, and I didn't have a bib from Marine Corps, and my friends were able to get a bib for me and surprised me with it and was like, we got your bib. All you have to do is pay for registration. Let's go. And I was like, they wanted me to still have a fall race. So I was very, 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 I felt very fulfilled that they were doing that. So that was awesome.
Great.
Yeah.
Charlie agrees.
Can you hear him?
Oh yeah. No, Charlie wants to be on the pod.
I ask myself this every day. I'm like, why did I want this small dog?
It's the small ones. It's always the small ones.
I bet he's cute, right?
He is adorable. He's super cute. Super cute.
So when this episode drops, we are less than 1 month away from the Tokyo Marathon. How are you doing? Are you nervous? Are you excited? Do you have everything figured out logistically? How are you getting out there? Are you flying economy in the back of the plane? Or are you getting one of those fancy seats with your own area and your own drinks, and your seat goes down like a bed? How do you travel in style? What's going on for Tokyo?
I super wanted to travel in luxury. But it's $8,000 to $10,000 a ticket to do that.
Yeah, but everyone else can sit in the back. You are the one who's going to run in this marathon.
Yourself.
You should treat yourself.
Right. So what I did was
use those airline points.
I'm sitting economy. I'm flying actually to Canada, and then I fly directly from Canada to Japan. So total is going to be 14 hours. But I do have extra legroom. I did get to pick my seat. I'm going to be fine. I also took a 6 a.m. flight. So I'll be up the whole day like I normally would, no red eye. And I planned it to fly during the day. So when I get into Japan, they're 11 hours ahead. So I'll leave here Tuesday, but I'll get there at 3:05 on Wednesday in the afternoon. So that's the plan. And my friend Liz has a travel agent who is looking up we're doing a lot of touring. We're going to be going to experiences. We're going to go to Kyoto. We're going to take trains. We're going to go and we're going to live it up the whole week that we're there. So I will definitely recap and give you more info after, because I really don't know what the day-to-day is going to be just yet. I just know that we have main areas we want to go see, and those are on the schedule for sure.
Well, if you want to spend another $8,000 to $10,000 and get Erika one of those fancy seats on the airplane, she will go out there with you and be your tour guide, because she was there last year.
I know. And tell me about the yellow people, because this is what everybody talks about is the little yellow guys, people that show up when you are being pulled off the course. That's probably the biggest conversation is when you see someone in that yellow outfit, you know that you're being pulled off. So,
so you have a time requirement.
You're saying, yeah, you have
They do have very tight cutoffs. So my advice would just be try to run at least the beginning half, because the cutoffs do loosen up as you go along, but they are very tight in the beginning.
Yeah.
And they start the clock with the first runners, which is kind of not fair in my opinion, but like the slower runners kind of get screwed. So just be mindful of them. But if you're with the main pack, you're going to be fine. Okay. I think you're going to be fine.
And then the apps. So, you know, there's, I was nervous to go to London and nothing happened. Everything was perfect. And I'm doing the same thing with Tokyo, because I hear your app doesn't register right when you go to get to the race. And I was like, oh, I'm just going to go and wing it. Like, we're going to see it when we get there. But I figured you'd be able to give me some insight on that.
Yeah, the apps weren't the most fun thing to do, because does this have to do with like the COVID testing and like all that stuff too? Are they still doing that out there?
Yeah, and the QR code to try to get in, you could have a bib on, but they can duplicate bibs there very easily. So they are like, nope, we want your registration. We want your QR code.
If I were you, I would take screenshots of your QR code if you can, because I had service out there. I wound up paying for the like international plan. It was like $10 a day or something, and oh, yep, there you go.
There's the yellow people.
Yep, yellow, the yellow
they
jacket.
Look very intimidating.
Yeah. So when you watch me, I'm going to see someone in yellow, which will just be a fun spectator, and I'm going to be like, no.
It all says volunteer, so you might get one of those volunteers who thinks they're like the race director, like, you get off, or you might get one who's just like, no, she's running too fast for me. I don't want to do this.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Nah, you should be fine with all the training you've been doing. I honestly think you won't have any issues. Do you know what corral you're in yet, or is that too soon for it?
We haven't gotten anything yet. I'm still kind of just sitting and waiting to find out how that's going to pan out. So, but hopefully
you should be fine.
I think we should be good. You know, like, you know, again, it's a day that you can't predict, you know, but I'm super excited about it. I just, the fact that they're going to open Australia, I'm hoping to maybe do that in 26, you know, but, you know, 25, I want to take a year off. I think I want a year of just fun local races and kind of let my body take a break for a year. Cause I've been
start saving up money again.
It's expensive to do this. It's so expensive.
It really is.
But it's a very...
I'm looking forward to Sydney too. And that's going to be down the line for me, because you got to spend a lot. Like, you're traveling so far. You want to spend time there. Plus, it's such a cool place to go.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah. You got to gain weight too. Like,
Candice,
you're going to go to Tokyo again. You're not. Like, when would I go back? So,
right. Candice, I just want to show you some more intimidating yellow people. There they are.
They look so cute.
But this one takes his job seriously. So you got to look out for that one.
Yeah.
I just see Elliot and I'm like, yeah.
Yes.
Elliot's going to be at your race.
Really?
Elliot's running.
Yes, he is. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. I'm super excited. I think it's
well, just like my friends did for me this past year, since you'll be so far ahead, we can make it a drinking game. So every checkpoint you hit, we'll cheers you and take a sip and
oh my God, I love it.
Cheer you on.
Right? Like fireball shot, like, oh, she just hit another marker. Let's
It was funny when I was running it. Of course, it's 9 a.m. You got your phone in your pocket. You're focused. And I just hear ding, 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 ding. Like, my phone's going off like crazy. So I just ignore it. I think I put it on silent. I'm like, whatever. And I go back and I have 100-something messages from Eric and some of our friends just texting each other like, oh, she hit this checkpoint, but she's a little bit behind. Like, what's going on? And like...
That's awesome.
It was fun to catch up on that afterwards.
Yeah, it's exciting. That's overwhelming too. It's sometimes because you're like, you know, you want to hear and see what they're saying, but you're so focused. And then when you get to your phone, you're like, oh my gosh, it's just, I don't know, the feeling of love. Like, the love is just real. It's so real.
Exactly.
Support.
But if I were you, I would just focus on the race, check out the sites. It is incredible race course. It's very cool. You get to see a lot of awesome things. And it's kind of neat too, because you do a lot of, they're like out and back tracks, but you get to see the other runners. So you get to cheer people on as you go because you're just kind of whoop, 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 going back and forth. So it's an interesting course, but it's really fun and there's so much to see.
Yeah, I'm really, really excited about this. Yeah, it's a once in a lifetime experience for me for sure because I will not be going back and doing it again. So one and done.
I'm excited for you.
Huh?
That's going to be, I said, I'm really excited for you. That's going to be so much fun. And then you got Berlin. So you only got one more left and you're going to like crush these 6 world majors in record time before it becomes 8 world majors.
I know. I'm pretty, I don't know. I don't even know how this all like, I know how it started, but it's kind of crazy to look back and think about it.
Well, it's crazy because like, the cool part is you go to Chicago and someone's like, are you going to do all the majors? You're like, what are the majors? And now you're like really into it and you're like, let's go get it.
It plants a seed. You're like, ooh, something it's a goal to achieve, something fun.
I didn't have a goal at that time. You know, I didn't have anything that I was chasing at that point. I was like, what do I want to do? And that was like the stepping stone, I guess, with Chicago. And then I was like, well, let me see if I can get into them. And then my coach said, the stars are aligned for me. That's what she said. Because I just keep getting into these things. And she's like, God, it just works for you. I said, okay, this is my thing.
It's great.
So
when did you hire a coach? Did you have the coach for Chicago or did you get a coach after you found this dream?
No, Kelly's been coaching me since day one. She's coached me for every race. She just tweaked my plan right now for Tokyo. We kind of put a spin on it, changed some things. I love it. I love the things that she's done. But she's amazing. I would not be able to, I don't think, to do all of this without her. But she's amazing. She's in Illinois. We do everything virtual through spreadsheet. And yeah, she's just awesome. She's great.
How do you find her then? If she's in Illinois, were you like Googling run coaches or did you know her before? How did you find your run coach?
So a friend of mine from Rhode Island, actually used her for a coach and they became really good friends. And I had asked her about, maybe getting a run coach. And I started to train myself for Chicago. And about 3 or 4 weeks in, I was like, I need someone. And I really needed someone. And she was my person to contact. We had a phone call and the last 2 years have been history. She's been awesome. So I'm happy to say she'll be the one that gets me to 6 stars. So.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah, she's
nice.
So Candice, with all this training that you're going to be doing, are you an outdoor runner during the winter or are you like a treadmill runner like me?
I hate the treadmill. I won't go on it.
Fair enough.
If I absolutely have to. So I do love running in the cold. It's easier on the head. My head likes the cold. So, but it took a couple winters for my lungs and everything to get used to it. But I will go. I'm lucky to have a treadmill when I can't go outside because when it's not safe, I don't go.
Exactly.
If I can, not last year in the winter, we had like a negative 20-degree day in East Greenwich, below 20. And we were out there running that day. Like you
ran at a minus 20. Oof.
Yeah. Our gaiters were so full of like sweat that we'd crush them and ice would just break. And we didn't care. We did, I think 13 or 14 that morning. And then we went to a brunch at a friend's house. It was totally awesome. So
badass. Yeah. You are badass.
So
I would be like, no.
If there's ice or snow and I can't run safe, I don't do that. It's not good for cars. It's not good for me. It's dangerous. Yeah. So we don't do that. But if I can get out there, it's going to happen.
Good for you. Yeah. I wish I was more like you. I have an aversion to the cold and it takes a lot of cajoling to get me out the door when it's very cold out.
Same. It's the same. The morning, it's a battle for sure. But if it doesn't get done, then I'm on the treadmill and I don't like how I feel when I'm off that. So I bless you. I think you're awesome for doing it because I'm sure I would love that more, but I just know it's not my thing.
So you were telling me before we started that you have a 5 a.m. run tomorrow. So you're an early morning and a cold weather runner. So that's just...
Yeah. Yep.
I think you're awesome.
Yep. For track tomorrow, I have an 8-mile progression run and that's going to start at 8 a.m. And it's going to be a 10 to 20 second progression right from beginning to end per mile. So that's the plan. And my girls are texting me right now saying, hey, who's going? Who's going to be there? I'm like, I'll be there. You be there.
Good for you.
Do it.
Well, we won't keep you up that late then. But what I want to know is, and we'll get to Berlin after Berlin happens, because we know Berlin's after Tokyo. Berlin's in September. Perfect time to bring you back for like an OTR Live and hear all about Tokyo and Berlin. But when you're all done with and you get your 6-star medal, what are you going to do?
So I'm not sure about this just yet. It's something I'm really thinking about. The girls and I talk about maybe doing a half marathon and starting to go out west. I would like to go to Utah. I want to kind of explore the States, but then a huge part of me wants to do a try. So I'm yes. Iron Man. Let's go, baby. We have a Block Island triathlon, a small one here where it's a little bit of bike, a little bit of swim, a little bit of run, just to kind of see if I like the transition. So I think that's something I'm going to dip into next year and see if I like it.
Are you a swimmer?
Am I a swimmer?
Yeah. Were you a good swimmer?
Swim, but I can swim. I just don't know how I can swim in open water. That's different than going in a pool.
Yeah, no, so true.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm so excited to see that journey after this. So you got a plan you're thinking about. You got something on your mind. I love that.
Yeah. I'm not sure what I want to do yet, but I do know I want to start to see our country more. I want to go out west. I've never been out west. I want to start going through the States and see what it has to offer. I want to do Nashville half. So there's a few I want to go out there and do. So, yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
When you go to Utah, you should go to St. George, I think. And I just hear that triathlon there, the Ironman, is amazing.
I was going to say, if you're looking for California, the Monterey Bay Half Marathon is beautiful. I have not run it, but I've been out that way, and it is gorgeous. So if you're looking for some good views, that's one to look at.
Maybe we should plan a girls' weekend. We'll grab some girls. We'll grab Ray.
Whoa.
And
Eric not invited.
I do not approve.
I don't care. I got the invite. I'm in.
All right.
Not working out good for me. I could grow my hair out.
Heck yeah.
Or I'll just throw a wig on.
Buy you a wig. Yeah, I was going to say that.
My man boobs are big enough. I'll wear a sports bra in case I got to use my shirt to wipe my ass.
No, let's just stick to the wig.
Shit.
So you have the plan. You got the 4 races. You got 2 more. You got the triathlons that's going to happen in the future. Let's transition to a friend of yours, Lauren Nutter, who owns the company or the brand Race Day Rangers. Tell me about Race Day Rangers, because when you and I spoke on the phone a while ago prepping, you were just like, you need to learn about Lauren and her company and what they're doing and just her amazing products and brands she's growing.
Yeah, she's awesome. So Lauren and I started, we ran Chicago together, but I didn't know Lauren yet. I had bought patches, so I have a jacket that I could show you that this is my little thing that I've made for my majors journey. I'm a huge
show and tell. Let's go.
So this is my World Majors jacket with
that's amazing.
All my patches from all the countries. I had them all, and I add a blue star to every race I finish, and the others are spray painted. But Lauren's company makes these patches. They also they make stickers. They make I have them all around me right now because I'm right now running the company. She became a mommy a week ago. So
you are running the company. Wow, that's so cool.
Send out orders because I was very, very much gifted a sponsorship. By
the way, congrats on the baby, Lauren. Way to go.
Yeah, I meet him this weekend. I'm so excited to go up and visit. Because they're in Amesbury. They're up near you guys. So I got to drop.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, they're way up there. But anyway, so Lauren bought Race Day after I had already started buying patches. She was the creator of these jackets. She made her own. And she now sells merchandise that is from different parts of the World Majors. So they do flags, they do stickers. Yep, that's the flags that they make. And
I am gonna check this out after we wrap this. I am intrigued.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep. We have a bunch of new ones. We have ones for ultras. Like there's a bunch of stickers. These are all stickers that I have on water bottles. She has
amazing.
Yep. So she's got a nice little business going on right now. And yep, that's how we stack. That's a World Majors one right there that I think you will love this, Erika. It's a great pack.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Everyone,
Yep,
I'm going to put this on our
in.
YouTube channel here so you can see, because I'm sharing the screen and sharing all this. Look at this jacket here. Look at that cool thing there.
That's Lauren.
That is beautiful.
Oh, no, that's not Lauren's. That's one of her. That's another person that sent a photo to her. Yep.
Still amazing.
Yeah.
Race Day Rangers on Instagram, guys. It's a white logo with like a blue V. It looks like when you're looking at it real small.
Yeah.
This is really cool. This is really cool.
Yep.
We'll run for donuts.
Yep. She's on Shopify and she's on Shopify and on Etsy. That's how I found it, was on Etsy. And then we became.
That was a porta potty.
Yes, it is a porta potty.
Oh my God, I'm so obsessed. Oh my God, this is amazing. I am sold.
Yeah,
Are you sending it to me right now?
I sent it to me.
Okay, send it to me later. Oh my gosh, this
right
is
now.
so
Look,
cool.
there we go. Boom.
Yep. So she's going to do her second year at the Boston Expo this year. She had her debut there last year, and hopefully, she sponsors and supports charities for all different kinds of athletes. She gives back so much to people, and her goal is to get settled in as a mommy, and then her and I are going to be going to the majors and having booths and at expos and stuff. Like, this is like I'm just excited to be part of this journey with her and watch her succeed. It's
so you are going to go back to Tokyo many times. Watch, it's going to happen. 2 minutes ago you're like, I'm not going to Tokyo ever again, so I got to take this all in. You're going to go back and have a booth.
I don't know if I'm going to run it, but maybe we'll go back to run the booth. So we'll see. But yeah, that's the plan, is for this to be, something that she's that's my car. That's
nice.
Yeah.
That's a big magnet.
Yeah.
Too bad you drive a Ford, though. That's not going to last for a long time. People either love it or they hate it, and I have to say the Bronco's fun, but I definitely miss luxury over sport utility. It is a fun sport truck, but it's definitely not what I'm going to end up with. So. Well, you know what they say, fix or repair daily.
Yeah. You could have said found on road dead. That's the only one I ever hear. So thank you for putting a little bit of spruce in that.
You guys are great.
Oh, God.
This is cool. This is really cool. So what are some of your duties when she's on maternity leave? Are you running her company? What are you doing for her? Are you going to Amesbury making trips? Are you just doing everything from behind a screen on the computer? What's your role right now?
I have all of her merch here. I have all of her patches, all of her bins, all of the flags. I have all of her shipping here, labels, packages. And I go into all the systems and I pull all the orders. I fill all the orders and the shipping and I mail them out for her. And if there's any intel in the spot that she has to correspond with a buyer or question, she'll take care of that stuff right now. But that was our,
She does more than just the majors too, it looks like.
She does have patches for like the LA Marathon, a couple of the ones, but she has like a beer mile champion one. She has a couple of different ones, charity runners. She has marathons back in 18.
Does she make her own singlets? Like, can she make you a singlet? Like, look at this, Randy's.
Oh man. So it's funny you're asking me this question. Her and I literally just talked about this afternoon. So Berlin, we are creating a singlet for me through the company for me to wear in Berlin.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
So you really will be finishing up in style.
Yeah.
You out.
No, I'm just going to be all matchy. Let's see what we can pull off here. Yeah. So
are you taking sponsors the way we can put our logo on your singlet?
Hell yeah, you can. I'll wear it. I'm bringing your shirt with me. I wear it everywhere. So anytime.
Lauren, it would be cool to have a OTR singlet.
Love my shirt.
I would wear that.
I don't.
Make me one.
I've never worn a singlet. I don't think I would. I'm more of a t-shirt guy, but it would be cool. We'll make some singlets. We'll have Team OTR.
I have a couple singlets from Marathon Maniacs, and if I can figure out what kind they are, and like the sizing is good, like they fit pretty well. So no chafing that I noticed the last time, but
that's good.
Yeah, I'll have to reach out and say, hey, this is a good brand. Make me a good singlet.
Well, Lauren, this stuff looks amazing. Great job here. Maybe we can do something together one day. She's posting some funny things as you go further down the rabbit hole here. 278 weeks ago, this beautiful photo from The Office.
Is that like a patch that she designed or something?
Oh, that's what it is. Oh my God, it's a patch for the nipples. Oh my God, that is amazing. Got to cover the nips.
Oh man.
This is the path.
Funny story about Chicago. The last time I was there, Goose Island is one of their like big sponsors, and they were giving out like nipple guards, and they're like, "Hey, if you bring these back to our like tap house or whatever, we'll give you a beer on us." And they're like, they can be used or not. And I was like, but give me some just in case I decide to go. Like I don't need to use them, but they're we do have a friend who does need to use those. Cock off, Steve.
Definitely. When the first time I was like, ooh, that does not look good at all. No.
Nah, it looks so painful. And yeah, I'm glad that I can tape up the girls with the sports bra.
Right. Get them all.
I think that's the first time I've ever heard Erika call them the girls.
Well,
at least on the podcast.
What else you call them?
She's like, man.
So let's go from the girls to Code Browns. Candice, something new we're doing this year is the Code Brown Commandments. Instead of my Instagram picture that I did all year last year, I am trying to build a list of commandments for Code Browns. These could be know where the best places are to go, know what poison ivy looks like. You don't want to be wiping your ass with the wrong thing. So do you have something you could add to our Code Brown Commandments list?
Our Code Brown Commandments list. Oh my God. Well,
it could be cover the girls if you need it.
I mean, I never run without wipes or toilet paper ever. And I live in the sticks because it's unpredictable. Always wear the most stylish, nicest sports bra that you have. Because if that shirt's coming off as your safety blanket, you got to look good. You got to have something that represents that you can run in town and just be very, very graceful because it's coming off. It's going.
Candice, I'm going to take your advice from now on and always make sure I'm prepared in all layers of clothing.
Erika's going to make sure she has the girls covered up with a cute sports bra.
The girls, yes. You know, this is a new thing now, the girl.
What do you do with the shirt?
Okay with
What do you do with the shirt after you take care of business?
Okay. So this is like really personal. Like,
well, do you like, there's options. Like for me, I usually find a place to hide it and then I go back and get it.
That's me.
Or you could turn it inside out, make it into a ball and kind of just carry it and act like you're all discreet about it. What do you do? Burn it?
Oh,
well, do you burn it right there? I'm talking about like right then on the spot. You just had the Code Brown. You ran in the woods. You took care of it. Now you got your cute sports bar covering up the girls, as we're going to call it. What do you do with the shirt?
Yeah, I leave it, wrap it, go back with a plastic bag, and I throw it out. I don't keep it.
You throw it out. You don't try to wash it or what if it's like your favorite shirt?
I'll buy it.
Now we're talking.
I'll
you
buy
still
another.
Throw it out, huh?
No, it's got chin on it. It's going in the trash. Like, it's not getting washed.
I tell you what, this Code Brown commandments are going to be amazing because the things we're going to get this year are just great. At first, we're thinking like, hey, just don't go in someone's yard. But now we're getting great things like know what poison ivy looks like. Cool. We knew that one. Leave no trace. That was a great one. And then wear a cute sports bra. Always. I love it.
Always.
I think I need to start buying some new bras. I'm like rethinking my wardrobe here. I'm like, what do I have in my drawer? But I digress. Candice, now let's move into my final question. And you are an avid listener of the podcast, so you know what I'm about to ask you.
I do.
We have our Spotify playlist. We have recently revamped it, so it is nice and concise with just a couple of songs from me and Eric, and then the rest is just guest suggestions. So, would you like to add a song to it?
I would love to add a song. Yeah. Message in a Bottle. Love that song.
That's not Christina Aguilera, is it?
Oh, God, no.
That's Genie in a Bottle.
Genie in a Bottle. Oh, yeah, Genie in a Bottle. I'm a genie in a bottle, baby. Come. Talk about TRL. I remember that was there, and
right?
I was Team Britney. I mean, I was Limp Bizkit.
See, it's all Britney. Yeah, you have NSYNC versus Backstreet, and then Britney versus Christina. I hated how they just pitted them together.
Run.
So Message in a Bottle, that's
The Pilot.
the Police.
The Police, yes.
Yeah.
Ooh, what a great one.
Yeah. Sending out an SOS. That song, when it's in my playlist, if that comes on, I'm like, woo! Like, it's such a good song.
Fun fact about me, I love to play that song with Guitar Hero, but it's like the Guitar Hero 2 from like PlayStation 2, so it's
that
like
was
ancient
college
now.
because we played Guitar Hero 2 all the time on Langdon Street. And we were like so into it then. I was like, we had Guitar Hero parties.
Yeah,
it was our pregame party. I'll say that.
Music. She's not good at instruments. She plays guitar. You lie. She plays Guitar Hero.
She knows all the keys.
That's real though. So what's weird is that I'm left-handed, and if you're playing a guitar, I learned how to play it, I guess, right-handed.
Yeah,
like you're supposed to play it like. I can't do it the other way. I'm ambidextrous too, and I just like kind of taught myself to play it the opposite way. I'm like, I don't know if I could do it with a real guitar though.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Well, I'm glad you were able to play something because Guitar Hero was really fun.
It was really fun. Oh man,
you guys are awesome. This is so fun.
You're awesome.
You are awesome.
So fun.
This was an absolute blast. I'm so excited to see how your year goes with Tokyo coming up and Berlin. Especially, you have the 50th anniversary of that race. That's going to be an epic party. Yeah. Berlin is such a cool place. Have you ever been before?
I've not. And it's like the weekend of Oktoberfest. And I'm trying to see if I can get you guys out there. That would be so off the hook fun. Come.
I would 100% go because it is so fun. The couple of times that I've been, we've done Oktoberfest, and it is a like absolute super cool once in a lifetime experience. There's like a million people there, but it is so fun. You make new friends from all over the world.
Yeah.
Totally take advantage of it if you can go.
Yeah.
So it's a 4-hour train ride, I think, from Berlin to Munich. So
okay.
Not terrible.
No, that's
just get on
terrible. We're going to have 5 or 6 days there. So yeah, that's definitely doable for us. Yeah.
And who's going to Berlin with you for the 6-star?
So my sister is definitely coming with me. I'm trying to have my oldest daughter come. Some of my other friends are going to be there. So a good group is going to be going. Yeah. So I'm really excited about it. Yeah.
So cool.
Nice. So cool. It's going to be amazing. Will you come back on the pod after Berlin for OTR Live, and we'll talk all about Tokyo and Berlin and Oktoberfest?
Oh my God. You guys are so all right. Yeah. Like I'll do it again. Sure. You know, that'd be awesome.
It's going to be live on YouTube. I hope you don't be too nervous now.
Well, you know, I just hope that somebody out there knows that that's possible. They can do it, you know, because like, I never thought I'd run a marathon, and here I am doing them right after each other. It's been super fun and hard and mad and crying, and it's all of it. It's all of it. So much joy and fun things going on, and then it's hard. So it's a nice little
And we're going to see you this summer at Anchor Down, right?
Oh, absolutely. We already saw.
What are you doing? Do you know what you're doing? Are you volunteering? You got the 24-hour shift again? What's your game plan for Anchor Down?
It really, I don't know. The 24-hour, that was tough, because I couldn't sleep and I was very lethargic at the end, but I may come a little later after the start and do the push, because I really just love to see the end. I like that middle section. It's when we need to be there the most.
All right. So Erika, you have not officially told me or the pod. Now, when this drops, everyone will know, but did you sign up for Anchor Down yet?
Yeah. And I'm doing the 12 like I wanted to.
You big baby.
I told you 12 is my jam, and I've got a lot of big races this year, and that one is perfect, and I love it, and it's just chef's kiss. So
big baby, 24 hours. Come on.
Love it.
Maybe someday, man, but it's tough. It's purposely on the hottest day, like stereotypically of the year, and I like me some night runs, man. Why not?
Yeah. It was very dewy this year too. Like the inside of my tent was waterproof, and my blanket inside was wet. It was so dewy, and it wasn't as hot, but it was very moist out there. So yeah, it definitely plays with you for sure when you're trying to run for 12 hours or 12.
Absolutely.
Oh, she doesn't know because she hasn't done the 24. She only does the 12. So
Hey, I'm there in the morning.
That's like somebody saying I only ran a 5K. Like, only is not allowed. That's not the word.
See, he gives me shit, but he loves coming for that too.
Yeah, he does.
I do.
And then he's home. He's home for his kids. So
yeah, no, he likes to poke the bear. That's what he's doing.
I love it. I love it. Like I poke the bear, but here I am. I don't do the race. I don't do an ultra. I haven't run more. I mean, I did an Ironman, but I've never run more than 26.2. And she's out there doing 50, and I'm calling her a big baby for not doing 24 hours.
I know he means well.
He does mean well.
You big baby. You should run in a diaper ADU because you're a big baby and you won't do the 24
for this year. Yeah. But it'll ruin my sparkle skirt like streak. They know me by the sparkle skirts.
Wear a sparkly diaper.
Sparkly diaper. Can anybody bedazzle? Ooh, Yuki can bedazzle like ooh.
Wear the Spanx underneath, you'll be fine. Wear the Spanx in your sparkle skirt, you'll be all glittery. Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm not wearing a diaper. I'm not doing it. I was actually going to go mermaid theme because I have a mermaid skirt and it's right on like the nice bay, but it's going to be, the theme is forged in fire. So I might have to rethink this.
Yeah. Might have to go with a red flame or some orange and yellow. Like that.
I have some decisions to make.
You see a lot of blues and greens when you forge too because of the metals, so you could actually get away with that as well. So I don't know.
I'm gonna hit you up, Candice, on some outfit ideas. We'll talk.
Okay. We'll do a 3-way with Rachel. We'll make that happen.
Yes.
This has been a lot of fun. I want to give you the opportunity, Candice, to pump the tires for any brands, sponsors, friends, family, race day rangers, whoever you want, your coach. Pump the tires for your own social media if people want to follow you when you go to Tokyo and Berlin and when you're at ADU this year. Let's do it. Pump those tires. I
mentioned quite a few people already Lauren, absolutely. Race Day Rangers, I will support her 100%. Kelly Lawfer, my coach from Stretch Run Coaching, she's just spot on, the best coach, the most relaxed person ever, never feel pressure, and she's very understanding. So she definitely needs to get a shout out because she works real hard and she's awesome. Pro Compression, love them. I wear them all the time. I have to have them. I got multitude of colors. I also like Lululemon vests for the winter. Keep you warm and they're super thin. But I think all of the girls that I run with, I just love them all because they get up at 5 a.m. and they'll run really long with me and, or they'll gap and run with me during my mornings and they make my runs so much more fun. I used to love to be a solo runner and now I don't like it. I don't like it. I like running with people and you
found your tribe.
I have 2 tribes in 2 different cities and it's just awesome, that I can go between 2 places and always have someone that's ready for a good time. So yeah.
Good.
Well, I hope your girls like me because we're going on a girls trip.
That was great.
Yeah. But yeah, hopefully, my Instagram, it's not my name. So we'll just kind of, people can figure that out on their own, but
Oh, it will be in the show notes unless you tell me not to. So. Okay. This was so much fun. I'm so glad we got to meet last year at ADU, even though I was half asleep when you came running up to me. I'm so glad we finally had you on the pod and we heard about this journey of you doing all these world majors and you got 2 more to go and I can't wait to hear about it. Just don't forget, wear a cute sports bra in case anything happens.
Those commandments, I'm telling you.
I love that we're doing that.
Fingers crossed, everything goes well for you. We can't wait to hear about it post
Berlin.
Thank you for that.
Yes.
And just good luck and have a blast. And can't wait to see you too in August for ADU again.
Yeah, definitely will be there. I look forward to seeing you guys and talking to you again.
Guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Candice Burroughs on the On the Runs podcast.
Candice, we love you so, so much. I'm so excited to hear about how Tokyo goes for you because that is coming up in just a few short weeks. And then you have got Boston on deck. You've got so many big things coming. So we're going to have to touch base again when you get your 6 star coming up soon.
That's right. Oh, she's got some great races on deck. And plus, we'll see her at ADU. Super cool. That was a lot of fun. It was great to learn about her friend in Amesbury who has the Ranger Warriors. I'm drawing a blank.
My God.
I'm so sorry.
All that cool, the stickers and stuff.
The patches and all that.
I want them so bad. Gonna have to go on either her Etsy shop or just gonna go check it all out. It's so cool.
Absolutely. So I teased it right before we went to Candice.
You did tease it.
But I said we're going to pick our fantasy teams for Badwater because we're going to run Badwater someday.
Not officially. So to
maybe
preface
for my 45th birthday in 6 years.
Right. But to preface how this came up, Peloton just released a really cool documentary about Susie Chan, who just she actually did the Badwater Cup this past year. So that includes Badwater Cape Fear in March, which is like a 50-miler, Badwater Salton Sea, which is like a partners race. It's an 81-miler. And then you do the Badwater 135. And so this documentary focused on her quest to complete the whole thing, and specifically Badwater 135. And we both watched it. He watched it and he's like, I'm doing Badwater. And then I'm like, I'm about to watch this. I was so excited.
I was so
literally
hyped up.
going that day, like later on that night to watch it. And it hit me in all the feels. Like, Susie is such an amazing ultra runner and Peloton trainer. She's just great.
I watched it on the Peloton bike and I was all hyped up. I was just like, I want to do Badwater. And you're like, well, you have to do some other races first. I'm like, no, I'm just going to do Badwater.
I was there to like burst your bubble a little bit, but I'm so excited that you were excited about doing something like that. This is my mind all the time.
I was like, this podcast is going to get really big one day, and I'll just say, I want to do Badwater. They'll let me in. But that's not how it works. I'll have to you told me at least 4 ultras.
You got to earn it. You have to do
I do. I feel that way. I feel the same way for like the Boston Marathon. Yeah. You got to earn it. You just can't do it. You got to earn it.
This is like intense. Like that's a serious race. You are dealing with not only the mileage, but you've got your fair share of elevation and then the heat. It is incredible heat that you have to contend with. So yeah, you definitely need to work your way up. So I am more than willing to do a couple of ultras with you once you're ready.
All right.
Just let me know.
So we did some research. I went and talked to some people. I Googled some things. I actually went to directly to the source to get some information on Badwater and teams. And we're going to do a fantasy lineup. Who would be our support crew? So here's what I know. You can have 4 people on your support crew. They can do anything. They can be a driver. They can cook for you. They can run. I wasn't sure at first if it's like you can only have 1 runner and 1 driver or whatever. So we can pick 4. And our rule was, I keep doing 4 like that. That's 5. We can pick 4. Yep. The rule was to us, it can't be just anybody in the world. It has to be someone from the pod fam. So unfortunately, Courtney Dewalter is off the table right now. She has not yet been a part of our pod family.
Bummer.
Maybe one day she will, but there's a lot of people.
Crossed.
It doesn't have to be a guest either. It could just be a follower or someone who supports us and listens. So we have a lot of options here.
Yes, we do. So who's going first?
You're going first.
Okay. I actually did put a lot of thought into this.
Currently, at the moment, I only have 3. I'm struggling on the 4th because I have 8 names listed here.
Oh, so you got to whittle it down a little bit, yeah?
Yeah. But I want to hear yours first, though.
Okay. My first choice. So I didn't really designate who's going to drive. That's not important. I just wanted to have the core group of people.
I did. I even have my crew chief. I know who my crew chief is. That one is set.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, my first choice is Lori, because Lori is a Badwater veteran herself. She has completed it and she knows all the ins and outs of this race. And she's probably the one who will give me the tough love that I need, who will not let me quit this damn thing. Okay. So if I were running, I could be absolutely miserable and she'll be like, "Are you kidding me? You're going to quit? No, you're not going to quit.
Are you going to be okay with that? Can you take some tough love?
I can, but I have somebody else on my list.
Okay, let's hear it.
I have. So I chose you.
Me.
So you are kind of going to counteract Lori a little bit.
Okay.
So you are there for best friend status, okay?
Okay.
So you're the one who I can cry and complain to when things get tough and when Lori won't let me quit. So she'll be like, you're going to do this. And while I'm out there doing it, I'm going to be like, I hate this. Like everything sucks. So you're going to be the one who hears the
I'm happy to be on the team. I'm excited. I'm on the team.
Of course.
I'm excited.
I couldn't leave you. Plus you're the content guy. So Lori Checkle, number 1, you number 2.
All right. I'm number
like that's solid.
Number 2. Of course. It's on the run. So I'm number 2.
Well, I told you had best friend status, so you got that going for you.
Well, I mean, number 2, like, you go take it number 2.
Who does number 2 work for?
I'm going to make sure you poop. Did you poop yet?
Who else would I trust with those?
All right, so you got Lori with some tough love and me with some soft love. I don't know.
You're the comfort. You're the comfort.
Okay.
You're the content.
You're okay, Erica. Just keep going. You're fine. You're fine.
You try to feed me donuts. I don't know. Whatever I need. You're really good at that. You are King Sherpa.
I am happy to be on the team. I really am. I'm excited.
King Sherpa, I'm telling you.
All right.
So then my next 2 choices are there in the same capacity. They're there because they can handle the mileage. They are excellent ultra runners. They will provide excellent company on top of that, comedic relief, and they're just going to be mostly the pacing aspect. So I chose Brittany Charbonneau,
Brittany,
and then Neil Murphy.
Neil.
And hopefully at this point, whenever I someday maybe run Badwater, Neil will have had his chance to run it himself because he is well on his way, ticking off those 100-milers, and I hope he gets his chance. So then he'll be an extra asset to the team as well.
All right. So we have your fantasy lineup.
Yes.
Lori Checkle, Eric Knutnen, Brittany Charbonneau, and Neil Murphy. I think that's
my dream team.
I think Neil is a great addition because he's like funny as shit and he'll keep you laughing and kind of just like, he'll make fart noises to entertain you for the 135 miles.
Yep.
I like it. All right. Good lineup. Good lineup.
Plus he lives in Florida, so he's used to that god awful heat. So he's probably
the type
better suited for this. Than
I didn't even consider him on mine. Like I should have. Shame on me.
Well, I'm excited to hear who you did pick, so.
All right, here's my fantasy lineup.
Let her rip.
Coming in spot number 1, I think this is going to be a great addition. Not many people know him, but he's a huge supporter of the pod since day 1.
Okay.
I got Jason Parent.
Oh, hell yes, Jay. Yes,
Jay's going to be up all night. He's not even
choice.
going to sleep, and he's going to power through. He's going to be my driver. He's going to get around.
I was just going to say that.
Right.
Yep. You're in good hands.
Like that's a sneaky pick there. Not many would think of him, but he's like, that's his thing. He's got a girlfriend, but his kid is much older. So I don't have to worry about him stressing out about his kid and being on the phone and all that. He's just going to be all in and he's going to give me some tough love. Like he's just going to be, just do it. Just do it. Let's go. And he's gonna make sure I'm not wasting time. I think Jay is a great addition.
Excellent. No, I totally support your choice.
My next pick, number 2. Now, this is the one. So I had 3. So this is the one I've been debating back and forth. I had the way I wanted to announce these picks. So number 2 was the one I wasn't sure about. Where number 3 and 4, I wanted to be the 3rd and 4th announcement. So I went back and forth between a couple lovely ladies of the pod who are amazing, strong runners. I'm looking at 4 names, and I am going to go with Michaela Shremshock.
Excellent.
Choice,
she can
right?
handle that because she's got Western States coming up. She's done, countless hundreds. So, yes, she's going to be on your side.
She can handle the distance, the heat, the code browns, anything. She's going to be the one running with me the most, I think, when I do the race. When I do the race, I'm going to do the race. So
I love how this is your first ultra, like in your head.
It's going to be my first and only ultra. And I'm going to complete it, and I'm going to do really well. I'm telling you, I'm going to do really well. Like for me, I'm going to do very well.
Yeah,
there's no DNF.
48 hours on the clock. You got it.
There's
that
no
time,
DNF.
It's yours.
It's no DNF. It's not going to happen. I'm going to do really well. So I'm thinking 6 years, 7 years when I turn 45. I don't even know how many years that is from now. All right. Pick number 3. This guy is going to bring energy. He's going to keep me motivated. He's going to be getting the content with the video camera. And this is all going to be on YouTube, professionally produced video of me kicking ass at Badwater. Ryan Van Duzer is going to be on my crew for Badwater 135. I mean, that is a no-brainer. I want to document this, and I want it to be done right, not some Instagram story. This is going to be on YouTube with 1 million hits.
Should I have picked Ryan too?
You should have picked Ryan.
I went for the best friend over content, so.
Well, do you want the bad news then?
The bad news.
Yeah. Okay. So do you want to know who my 4th pick is? Or do you want me to tell you why it's not you?
I am okay. Just tell it however you want to tell it. I'll live. I'll live on the inside.
Listen. I love you. You're a great podcast co-host. You're an amazing person.
I'm about to replace you with Doozer.
You can't. You already picked your team. You're amazing. But I think you're too easy on me. I need a little tough love. You're going to be like, and I don't think you would really say that, but you would be like, if this was a loop race, you'd be like, hey, you did 12 laps. That's something to be proud about. Like, good for you. When I really wanted 14.
You know me too well, man.
You're not going to push me to the end. You're going to be like, hey, it's 140 degrees and you just ran 112 miles. Like, you're good. You don't need to do the other 20, whatever. You're fine. All right. So listen.
That's different though. That's you can't. That's a DNF.
There's a second.
I don't know.
There's a second reason I didn't pick you. By the way.
Oh, rub it in. Rub it in.
I fully expect you to be out there with me running in the race. So you can't be on my team. You're out there running.
Fine. You redeemed yourself. But then, if we're running it together, I'm gonna need to get somebody new.
Nope, you can't. So you only have 3 now.
Doozer can do both of us.
Well, I mean, he can't because I'm going to be kicking your ass. I'm going to be way ahead of you. He's going to stick with me. I'll be there at the finish line waiting for you after like I had a massage and everything. I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to do really good.
You guys can get the content of me rolling over the finish line because my legs don't work anymore.
But there's only one way I can do really good and kick ass at Badwater. I need a crew chief. I need someone who has like an Excel spreadsheet and is figuring everything out, marking down where it should be when, and pushing me to my limits to get there and managing everything. And this person has to be someone who's been there before, who's done this, who's gone through it, who's finished the race and also gone through the absolute suck of the race and knows what it's like and will also coach me through it. So my crew chief for the Badwater 135, even though I've never met her in person or spoken to her and heard her voice, I've only talked to her through Instagram. But Lori Checkle, you are my crew chief for the Badwater 135. It's a no-brainer. She's even the one I went to this past week for research and being like, how many do you get? I need to know this. We're going to do a fantasy lineup. Lori, you're my crew chief, and we are going to crush this in like 6 or 7 years or sooner or longer than that, but one day.
See, you and I had the same idea. Lori knows what she's doing. She's awesome. How can you go wrong?
I have a couple other, I wouldn't call them close calls, but questions like no, not even an alternate, but like if someone goes, why wouldn't you pick Scott Black? You've been his Sherpa forever. He owes you. Listen, if I know Scott, he's just going to show up. He's going to show up in a rental car. He's done this before for other friends doing 100 milers. He flew one day to North Carolina to go to mile like 72 to clap his buddy doing 100 miler, and then he walked back to the airport and flew home. Like that story. Scott's going to show up just to see me for a little bit, probably near the end or something, and be like, good job. He'll show up in the beginning, go back to his hotel, take a nap and all that. So Scott will be there. The other one, I expect you to be racing with me.
I would love to do that, man. That would be super cool. You know what, though? You and I should do the Badwater Salt and Sea race. That one we have to complete together. You have to stay within like a X amount of feet from each other. So that would be a good.
Yes, I heard about that, where you have to run together. Yeah, that would be a lot of fun.
It's only 81 miles, and it counts towards getting into the big Badwater.
All right. I mean, I'm game. It's just timing. I have toddlers in my house.
I know. We'll give it a few years. Maybe we'll do the Badwater Cup when you're 45.
Life is going to be easy when the boys go to kindergarten. It'll be easier. It's never. It will just have more time. I think Ashley could start working days instead of nights when that happens. So it might be easier when they go to kindergarten.
We'll wait until you're really getting into it. You want to start doing those the ultras to get in, and then we'll try to do the whole Badwater Cup too.
The other close calls for me when I said I was having a hard time figuring out that last person, I chose Michaela. Well, Abby Bandai was one of them. Love Abby. Yeah. Now, at the time of recording, she's yet to do her 100. So is she battle tested? Like, no, she would be amazing. She would be great. She's so wicked fast, though. I think I might be too slow for her.
Oh my gosh. True.
Another one is a Ragnar badass. Jenny Clark was a close call for me. And I had to think about this stuff. It's like they don't have kids, so they have so much freedom to come and do this. And that the same thing goes for our other friend Amanda in Hawaii. Now, Amanda, I don't think has done ultras, but she has the time.
Done ultras?
She does have the dog. She has the dog to worry about.
She does ultras though. She's also fast too. So.
Yeah. But those are some close calls. But yeah, Jason Parent, I mean, I got to bring that guy. He's some tough love. He's going to push me. He's not going to let me waste time, and he's going to drive the van. Ryan Van Duzer, he's going to get the content. He's going to bring the energy. He'll run with me. Michaela Stremshark, just an absolute badass. She's been to Badwater before, but she's been in the thick of it in the suck. And then Laurie, my crew chief, she's going to perfect crew chief for me. The one I need to get through. I think if I don't have,
she will give you the tough love. Like I said,
yeah.
If it can't be me, I'm glad it can be somebody.
So we both picked Laurie. We're both wicked smart.
Yeah. I know, right?
Yeah. Anything else you want to talk about before we send everyone home?
Yeah, I want to recommend, if you get a chance to watch that Peloton documentary with Susie Chan, do it. It really does describe how intense these ultras are. She was running on empty, like she was just having trouble putting in calories. She was sleep deprived. I mean, you could just tell when she would talk to the cameras how the pure exhaustion that you go through. So it is a true picture of how these ultras go.
Yeah.
That one just being above and beyond the most difficult. But
they did a phenomenal job. Yeah. Peloton did a great job. I mean, you had Matt and Bex in there too, and other Peloton people talking about it. Yeah. Susie is, I mean, we talked to Mike. Mike thought Susie would be a great addition, a great guest on the podcast. So maybe
I would love to talk to Susie.
We already have the end. We want to spread it out. We don't want to jam pack a whole month of Peloton instructors, but Susie.
Right.
Susie, yeah, we'd love to talk to you about Badwater. Maybe we screwed up and should have picked Susie for our team.
Maybe we did.
Well, no, she's not part of the pod fam yet, but she will be.
She is by association with Mike, and Bex, so
she will be.
But yeah, that would be amazing to get to pick her brain about all of the ultras she does, especially the ones from across the pond. Because I've seen her Instagram stories where she's just running in gale force winds, being blown off cliffs. Like, she is as badass as they get.
Before we go, I want to mention one thing. So I always, try to jump into DMs if I think there's someone really interesting to talk to on the pod. And I shared a while ago how we got a very polite no from someone, and that no turned into hit us back up in February or March and we'll see. I got a no from someone recently, and I want to mention this because he was so cool because we kept chatting on Instagram, even though he said no. But if you're a fan of Disney races, and if you watch these, there is one person who shows up to every Disney race dressed as Jack Sparrow. And he goes by the Instagram handle, Jogging Jack Sparrow. And when I made a comment in a story post saying dreams or goals to get this guy on the pod one day, he finally saw it. And he saw my message from 6 months ago. And we started chatting. And it started off with, hey, mate, I saw all these, things you sent and everything. This is awesome and super clever. Sadly, he goes, I get so many requests to do podcast interviews, so I just don't do any. I go, that's super cool.
That is fair. Yeah.
I'm like, that's super cool. But we chatted for like back and forth 3-4 times. Here's what I loved about him.
Yeah.
You know how you like give everyone a heart?
Mm-hmm.
He gives you a black heart.
Oh,
I was like, that's cool. And then I'm like, maybe
I didn't know you could do that. I guess.
Well, you can do hearts in all these different colors.
You can choose your thing.
I might start doing a blue heart, like a baby blue on the runs heart. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Your signature.
I do this a lot too. I do these for signatures, the hand symbols and stuff. And
nice.
They don't have the chakra though.
Good. I don't know.
That's for all the people listening at the end. And I think it's about time that you need to save this podcast, Erika, before I do anything else that and take us home. Guys, enjoy the Taylor Bowl. Over under 50 times Taylor's on TV. If I got the over, and if it's over, Erika's going to shave her head. We'll announce that, though, before the Super Bowl on Instagram Live.
All right, everybody. I am not shaving my head. Thank you
We'll
for
figure
listening.
something cool out.
Definitely not shaving my head.
All right.
And on that note...
Save us. Take us home.
On that note, everybody, I hope you have a wonderful week. You know we love you. And don't forget to stretch.
3, 2, 1.
Oh my God, what?
I'll edit that out.
I'm literally gonna pee my pants.
That's my blooper. Thank you.
I know. Thank God for editing. All right.